From historic Robbie Stadium in Wauwatosa on what is going to be a spectacular Saturday for college football, we welcome you inside People's State Bank coverage of Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors football presented by Legacy Insurance Group as the Warriors welcome in the Concordia University Chicago Cougars, two teams looking for their first NAC win of the campaign. And welcome inside the telecast, everybody. I am Scott Warris. He is the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame broadcaster, Bob Brainerd, and he's spending the afternoon with us. Bob, the Warriors are looking for a bounce back. It was a tough loss last Saturday on this turf to the other Concordia school in the NAC, 27-20, and yet they're only 0-1, a lot of games to go.
Yeah, that's what you have to take out of that frustrating loss last week. You're battling the Falcons, you're battling Mother Nature, all the delays, all the drama, all the waiting in that football game. So to not come away with a victory, to say we're going to plant our feet here and we're going to play this game no matter what, and then not get the win, it can be a little disheartening. But Warriors come in. It's a reset for them. And, yes, you're right. It's only 0-1. You get a chance to get back to even. Meantime, this Concordia squad, they're dealing with their own drama after losing their first game because they got a 50-plus burger put on them last week against St. Norbert. So it's two teams that are looking not for momentum, Scott, but for traction. They need to get some traction first before they can build momentum.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Warriors got some traction last weekend on the back end of that defense. Remember, through the first couple games, they'd only gotten one takeaway. It comes in bunches. They got 4 last Saturday against Concordia, Wisconsin. Connor Martin, one of the best defensive backs the program has ever seen, with 2 against the Falcons.
Yeah, and the Warriors needed Connor to step up and make those picks. They need to generate some turnovers because the defensive line, and we'll talk about it, they're banged up. It's a mash unit. Eric Trusky talks about it, that they don't have the proper pieces up front that can provide enough pressure. They have only 1 sack so far generated through the first 3 games. Ergo, you need that secondary to come up with a way to get some turnovers, and that's exactly what Martin did. So, can they do it again? It's a strong part. The back end of the secondary is very strong. The corners are going to need some help as well. So what Martin did, they need to generate that again and again and again.
Martin now 5th all-time on the Warriors interception list. Okay, it's not often during these pregame opens, these stand-up opens, we like to call them, that we talk about a punter. But we have to talk about the Warriors punter, Drew Mears, because right now, Bob, not only is he the best in this conference at what he is doing, he's one of the best in America.
Yeah, 10th in NCAA Division III punting, and 8 of his punts inside the 20-yard line. This guy is, as Eric Trusky said, he's a weapon, right? And when you have a weapon like that, it determines what your play calling is going to be once you're moving the football or not moving it down the field. What do? Do we try a long field goal, or do we use that weapon? Also, Scott, he's not just a weapon when he's punting the football. He's a weapon from the wide receiver spot, and he's able to juggle both of those roles flawlessly. So, can they find a way to get the football to Mears in the end zone? We would like to see, and Eric Trusky would like to see, him not punt the football. That would be optimal today.
Yeah, we get a lot of Mears highlights in the end zone, catching the ball. He'll take that. Even he'd say, I'll take that over my punting duties if that's the way this thing plays out. Okay, last thing. Last week, for those of you who are with us, it was interesting to say the least. 2 lightning delays, 95 minutes in totality, separated by 1 play. There was a lot of unforeseen adversity that the Warriors had to battle through. Not a cloud in the sky right now. Going to be a beautiful day for football, but it's going to be warm. So once again, weather is something we should keep on the docket.
Yeah, as Lee Corso, the great Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. I mean, yes, it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day, but they're expecting record high temperatures for this date in history in the suburb of Milwaukee, right? So it's great for football, yes, but stay hydrated, and if guys are wearing down, make sure you rotate them out because you got to keep those legs fresh.
We'll track all of that and much, much more as we continue from Robbie Stadium. Kickoff at the top of the hour. When we come back, conversation with new Warriors Athletics Director Jeremiah Hoffman. Stick with us.
This isn't just another college.
If you are looking for a university where the professors care about you, You can meet friends who have the same values as you, and you're going to be in a super fun area with a ton of student activities and fun stuff to do. Then you want to go to WLC.
This is a place where you'll engage in Christ-centered academics and student life experiences that activate your potential.
Learning here at WLC is incredibly hands-on learning. You get a bunch of different experiences.
You can really balance academics with athletics or fine arts or any extracurriculars.
I don't think a single student here graduates without thinking that they are a Christian leader. You get everything when you come here. You get a wonderful community of people. You get endless opportunities.
WLC initially was just a college for me, but now it's a home.
Your greatest adventure starts here. Visit wlc.edu/purpose to learn more.
Back at Robbie Stadium as our pregame programming continues, and so pleased to be joined here on the sidelines by the Warriors' new athletics director, Jeremiah Hoffman. Jeremiah, I appreciate the time very much. Of course. Rounding out your third month on the job, what's been your initial takeaways? And you've been a member of the WLC campus for a couple of years and then moving across campus to athletics. What's been your biggest takeaway here through the first 90 days or so?
Yeah, just how great the people are. We've got good people all over the building. Both in student athletes and in our coaches and staff, and just really trying to figure out how things work. You know, Skip was here for 27 years, and a lot of things were just on autopilot for him. And so trying to figure out what those things are, when to be ahead of things, when it's okay to let things go a little bit. And but like I said, I've said it over and over, the pieces were there when Skip left. And so it's just been a matter of stepping in and not screwing it up.
Well, we're here for a football game on a beautiful day for football. A little warm, but compared to last Saturday, we'll certainly take it. Let's talk about the Warriors football program as you've gotten to know Coach Eric Tresky, obviously, and what's been your takeaway and what excites you about what Tresky and his staff are doing and are planning to do moving forward?
Yeah, for sure. They have passion. They love what they're doing. They love our kids that are here. They're good recruiters. I'm confident that the process is going in the right direction, and so it's just really exciting when you see guys like our staff and that are just so invested in what we're doing. They understand the mission of our college, and they're going about it the right way. You know, football's a tough sport. You're high numbers. Sometimes you have students that potentially are less ready for academics, the academic rigors of college than some other sports, and these guys are managing it and retaining it and bringing in the right people.
Well, and finding the right people is so important, and like you said, it's making those connections because Wisconsin Lutheran College, high academic standards, and sometimes, you know, there can be a battle between the academic side and the athletic side of a university or of a college. You know, I've been around here a long time, and you've been around here for a handful of years now as well. It's always interesting to watch the dynamic at play because you really do feel like the academic and the athletic elements are in tandem here at WLC. They work in partnership for the betterment of a recruit or a student who's already here working his way through the program.
Right, and we understand in athletics that they're student athletes and students first for a reason. But at the same time, you know, small private college, we have to have ways to separate ourselves, and athletics are one of those ways. And so if we're putting out quality programs and partnering with the academics, and people can come here, men and women can come and participate in some Division III athletics, get that experience, grow those skills that are going to help them in their careers as nurses and teachers and professionals down the road, we're doing our job.
I don't know if you want to give away any company secrets or whatnot, but, you know, as you kind of plan your vision? And I'm asking you to look out, years down the line, but what might be something, as we're talking to alumni and fans and parents and all that stuff, what's something that you might put on the table for Warriors Athletics, something maybe in your sights down the line?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of different things. I think it's continuing to build on what we've created in those experiences. We're in Milwaukee, so from a professional standpoint, there's lots of opportunities regardless of the industry. Continuing to have excellent coaches that are great role models and leaders, helping people, men and women at critical times in their lives, learn how to be adults. And then we're going to just reevaluate everything and where can we make that next move that makes a lot of sense for our department, whether it's facilities, whether it's staff, whether it's a combination of both. And so, this first year has been a lot of that. Where are we at? Where can we grow, and where can we do it strategically that makes sense?
Last thing for you, I'm spending some time here with Warriors Athletics Director Jeremiah Hoffman. Jeremiah, what message would you like to share with Warriors Nation out there when it comes to the vision that we kind of talked about, but also what we're seeing here and now? Like, what should bring people out to these ball games? What should get them as excited as it gets you excited?
Yeah, I think it's just the passion of our student athletes. In Division III athletics, we have a small NIL deal with the company, but these kids are doing it because they love the game. And to me, there's something special about kids or people, young adults competing in a sport that they love. And so just come out, see that passion. Alumni, we'd love to see you back.
Yeah. NCAA college athletics is changing, but you look at the D3 level and there's still a purity to the college game that maybe is being lost at the higher levels. Jeremiah, I appreciate the time. All the best. Appreciate it very much. We'll turn our attention to the matchup, Warriors and Cougars. My conversation with head coach Eric Tresky comes your way next. Stick with us.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Hey, grab me one too.
Here's your food.
Thank you.
Hey, your food's right here. Have a nice day.
Thanks, you too.
Food's here.
Food's here.
Finally. Best pizza in town.
Food's here. We're here. Quick Trip.
And we welcome you back to Robbie Stadium, where the Warriors and Concordia Chicago Cougars are set to do battle. Joined now for our regular pregame chat with the head coach, Eric Tresky. And Coach, before we talk about this matchup with CUC, let's just go back last week. And I'm curious, it was a weather-delayed ball game, 2 delays. How did you think your team handled that really unforeseen adversity?
Yeah, we talked about that pregame, that the weather may play a role, and I was really proud of the way our guys stayed locked in, stayed engaged. It's hard. I think the first delay was a challenge, but really, honestly, the second delay was the one that we saw our resilience, we saw our focus, we saw the maturity of our leaders in our program. To be sitting in the locker room for about an extra hour, waiting to play is tough, but I don't feel it contributed to the outcome. I feel like our guys were still locked in, played incredibly hard. We just got to continue to take steps forward in the execution.
Mm-hmm. What is the vibe right now of this team? Like you said, last week was a tough one, and yet you're only 0-1 in the NAC. There's a lot of games left. I'll say CUW is going to lose once or twice yet down the line as well. I'll go on record as saying that. I mean, there's a lot still to play for here.
There is.
You got to get a win today, obviously, though, I know.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, and I know this is very coachy to say, but it's making sure that we're playing for each other and we're playing this game only, right? There's nothing outside that we have the ability to control beyond today and what's right in front of us. I think that happened a little bit to us. We had some high expectations, and rightfully so. We have a talented group, a mature group, and unfortunately the first couple of weeks didn't go as planned. But this is probably one of the greatest life lessons you can get, is how are you going to respond when things didn't look the way you thought they would. And quite honestly, what I've learned is, man, that's when God does his best work. You're going to learn things about yourself, you're going to grow, and hopefully we see this as an opportunity to be better for the rest of the season.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to the matter at hand with the Concordia Chicago Cougars here. And I'm going to ask you about your quarterback, Nate Griffith.
Yep.
Got his first start last weekend for the first time since his freshman year. How did you think he played? And more importantly, how have you challenged him? And what have you asked him to do today?
I think the most exciting thing to see on Saturday was the long touchdown run. That was a part of his game that really wasn't in his repertoire as a freshman, as a sophomore. He put a lot of work in with Coach Brooks, our strength coach, working on his speed and becoming more of a dual threat. And so that was really fun to see. His next step is trusting his pre-snap choices. Nate's strength. He's an incredibly smart player. He's a smart guy in general, but a smart football player. And it's fallen back on the habits that he's built. He's like a coach on the field. And so now it's don't second guess yourself. Have confidence in your preparation. Be who you are.
You know, we kind of step back for a second, stay on the offense. I know you have talked with your guys, and you told us this week in meetings that it's time for the big play in the passing game. And I love the phrase you use, Coach. We need to find a way to take a solid play that was made and turn it into a special play.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's playing without any fear, right? God gave you a series of gifts. You got to lean on the gifts, and you got to lean on the preparation that you've put in. Our guys are capable of being explosive football players. You look at Liam, you look at Carson, look at Jameel, look at Drew. I mean, the list could go on and on. It's time for those guys to break out, and today might be a day to do that. They're going to challenge us. They're going to play some man. They're going to try to put us in some one-on-one situations. And so that's a test, and that's one we think we're ready to pass.
Defensively, I know it'll help if you can get some pressure. If you can get all the way to the quarterback, great, but just to get in that backfield, get some pressure.
Yep.
What might we see schematically today? Because I know if you can do that up front, man, that's going to make that linebacking core and that secondary's effort even more special.
You're not kidding. And, I want to say last week I was really proud of our front. We've had more injuries than we've had in recent years across our team, but especially at the D-line position. And so last week we had guys playing out of position. We had Coach Donovan being very creative schematically, and we were able to force some turnovers because of that pass rush. Today is going to be another step forward with that unit. Guys like Jalen Pereira, guys that are going to be stepping up in unique ways.
You mentioned Jalen Pereira. He was you and your coaches name a Warrior of the Week, and he was your Warrior of the Week last week.
Yep.
Had a great second half. Man, if that's what we get every game from Pereira, there's an X factor of a variable the rest of the way.
I would love to see that, especially for him. He's been very patient in his journey. Jay went to a junior college for a couple years. We recruited him out of high school. It's been a few years in the making, but we finally got him here, and he's been patient, learning, really trying to earn coach's trust, finding a role for himself, and man, did he do a great job yesterday. The sky's the limit for him, and I just love how he leads by example.
Mm-hmm. All right, Coach, last thing for you, less than a minute to go. You've got the 10th best punter in America right now, Drew Mears. What does Drew do that you and your coaches see through your expert eyes that maybe those of us in a press box or the fans don't see?
Well, we have a unique punt scheme. It forces you to have to not only be, a strong punter, but an accurate punter. It's a directional type scheme, and we got a pin you in the corner. Drew has done a phenomenal job of that. Like, our coverage units have been able to excel. We've pinned teams inside the 28 times already. I prefer not to punt as much as we have, but at the same time, to have Drew flip the field, that's a weapon. And it's been fun to see him grow. I feel like each year he's improved that facet of his game, and I think part of it is because his role has increased on the offense. He doesn't think too much anymore. Now he just goes out and he just does what he's capable of doing, and it's been special.
Like you say, if he has to punt, he's been special. But if you don't see him punt that much today, I think even Drew would say, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see him in the end zone a little more.
Best of skill today, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll continue with more from Robbie Stadium as we continue on My 24. Stick with us.
The world is changing in powerful ways. You deserve an education that helps you meet the moment. Wisconsin Lutheran College. An academic and faith experience embedded in a close-knit community that activates your potential. preparing you for life's critical moments so you can step into your unique purpose as a bold Christian leader. Take the first step at wlc.edu/purpose.
When it comes to electrical work for your home, don't settle for fine. You deserve the best with Best Electric. From replacing an outlet to large-scale renovations and everything in between, there's no job too big or too small. And Best Electric offers upfront estimates and financing options. We're a family business that's been taking care of your family for over 50 years. Mention this ad and receive a complimentary electrical safety inspection with any service call. So don't settle for fine. Connect with the best. Best Electric.
Moments away from seeing the Warriors cascade out of their locker room facilities across the way. It is a sunny Saturday, as Bob and I talked about a few minutes ago. Tale of two weather Saturdays, with last weekend the Warriors enduring 2 lightning delays in a game that was already being played under the lights, and today they'll have to deal with some temperatures. Although it's worth pointing out, a couple of weeks ago when they visited Buena Vista down in Storm Lake, Iowa, temps got as high as 91 degrees down on the field as the Warriors come charging out of the locker room in search of their first NAC win of the season. Same can be said for Concordia University Chicago. Safe to say both sides, Bob Brainerd, hungry teams.
Yeah, for different reasons, right? I mean, Concordia Chicago got off to a great start in non-conference. They set the table for success by going 2-0. And then, as I mentioned earlier, St. Norbert put 59 points on the board against the Cougars. So that can be a little deflating if they don't regroup here against this Wisconsin Lutheran squad. And as we said, Wisconsin Lutheran, they had to literally weather the storms plural, right? Having to go through all those massive delays. It was an issue that, again, you need to shake that off, forget about it, take into this nice warm weather, and get yourself back in the W column.
Warriors losing at home last Saturday night to Concordia, Wisconsin, 27-20. Falcons with a touchdown with under a minute to go. Meanwhile, as Bob said, Concordia Chicago was throttled at home by St. Norbert, 59-28. Green Knights hung 28 on the Cougars in the first quarter and never looked back. So a couple of 0-1 squads going at it here under the bright sunshine at historic Robbie Stadium, where Nate Griffith will get his second start of the season. The senior quarterback out of Brighton, Colorado, and expectations a little higher now for Nate, and he'd be the first to tell you that as well, as he and the offense look to strike early, and we'll get into that storyline too as we roll through this broadcast. This broadcast, of course, is brought to you by some really great partners, and as we always like to say, these things could not be possible without People's State Bank, Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack agent, Auto Owners Insurance, Best Electric Service, Dunn's Sporting Goods, Sit Mean Sit Dog Training, Today's Dentistry, Clear Hits Radio, Enlighten Realty Group, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, and by Sonesta Milwaukee West, Wauwatosa. Again, we thank all of them for jumping on board our Warriors broadcasts this season and making these things possible. We will step aside, national anthem, and then kickoff from Robbie Stadium as we continue. You're watching People's State Bank coverage of WLC Warriors football, presented by Legacy Insurance Group.
My journey into real estate started with a simple desire to help others. At the Enlighten Realty Group, our team's more than just a collection of agents. It's a family of dedicated professionals, committed to making a meaningful impact on our clients. To us, this business is about changing lives. When we look back on our life, we won't smile on the money we made, but rather the lives we changed along the way. Give us a call or follow us on social media today. We look forward to talking with you.
drive, discipline, passion, determination, focus, sacrifice, effort. The years on the football field have given me more than just wins. They've taught me values that are now at the heart of Legacy Insurance Group. At Legacy Insurance, dedication, hard work, and honor become real protection for families and businesses across Wisconsin. Legacy Insurance Group, driven to protect your future.
When you bank with People's State Bank, you're never alone when it comes to your finances. In fact, in a recent survey, customers said our bankers were helpful, flexible, and willing to work with their situation more than any other response. So if you're going it alone with your bank, we invite you to join our community and experience what it's like with People's State Bank on your side. Visit us at bankpeoples.com.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Beautiful rendition of God Bless America, getting us set for college football on this Saturday afternoon, where the Warriors and Concordia Chicago Cougars are set to clash. This is a series that has been dominated by Wisconsin Lutheran. Warriors have won 3 in a row and 10 of the last 11. 12-4 the Warriors are all time in 16 meetings with Concordia Chicago. As we await the coin toss, let's check in with our sideline reporter, Wayne Chevy. Hello, sir.
Hello, Scott. How are you today? It's a beautiful day for a game. Looking forward to the Warriors getting off to a fast start. We talked to Coach Eric Tresky earlier this week. Got to get some momentum early. 0 points for the Warriors in the first quarter in the first 3 games. One of the things that's going to challenge the offense is the fact that senior center Kevin Trevino is injured. He's going to be out of the lineup today. Simeon Zarling going to take over at the center spot. Hopefully that doesn't negate some of the things that the Warriors have been trying to implement. We're looking forward to a good one. Hopefully the Warriors can get on track. Bob, it's great to be with you. Thanks for joining the team. Back to you guys.
Wayne, thanks for having me. And yes, I would agree. A fast start is needed. That's how you erase the bad taste, the lingering taste of dealing with Mother Nature and the last-second loss a week ago.
Well, looks like the Warriors are going to receive, and they'll have an opportunity to get that quick start here as Concordia won the toss and deferred to the second half. John Doden will be our referee. He's the white hat that we'll hear from, hopefully not too much, over the course of this Saturday afternoon. Warriors 6th-year head coach Eric Tresky, the offensive play caller as well, is going to have a chance to reach into that bag of tricks here right out of the gate.
And I like the choice that Eric made, going with the cargo shorts. You know, our guys, we're going to put them in black uniforms and just say, forget you, Mother Nature. We're going black with green pants. But then, of course, you're the head coach. You can make that wardrobe decision to go with the short sleeves, and then the cargo pants. I love it.
Let the record show the broadcast team long pants and went with the black, just like the guys on the field.
Also a choice.
All I know is I hope Wayne Chevy has the highest available SPF rating of sunscreen down there this afternoon. Maybe we'll check in on that in a little while. All right, we're just about set to go with Carson Kohler back for the Warriors. Yep, they're in the black, the green pants. Concordia Chicago, the white with the burgundy pants. And it's football time. The Warriors in a stretch where they're at home for a month. 3 straight home games and a bye week sandwich in there as well for good measure. So trying to make hay after a rough 7-point loss last week as we await our Dunn Sporting Goods opening kickoff.
And freshman kid from Waukesha played at Brookfield Academy, Vincent Paganoff. going to boot the football for the Cougars. Yeah, knowing you've got that bye week tucked away in the back pocket, and you tuck it deep in the pocket, but primo time then to not only erase last week, but get a W today if you're the Warriors, and then you can have that week to kind of savor it, but also kind of reset before you kick it into high play, because St. Norbert, they're lurking on the schedule again after that bye week.
Breeze helps, that's for sure. And I know everybody down on the field will appreciate that. That'll make things a little more comfortable. In fact, as if on cue, the ball is blown off the tee, and Carson Kohler will have to wait a few extra moments to receive this opening kickoff. The sophomore Kohler has been good in the return department, averaging 24 yards per kickoff return.
We have to old school it here and tee it up for the boot here.
Warriors 0-3, 0-1 in the NAC. Concordia, Chicago 2-1, 0-1 in the NAC. Let's play football, shall we? And we're off and running from historic Robbie Stadium. As Kohler sees it go through his arms, he'll have to drift back inside his 5 and now try to find something, and he's taken down at the 12-yard line. Forward progress will give him a gain of about 7 or 8 as the Warriors offense, who again a week ago scored 20 points, as Nate Griffith got his first start of the season. 17 out of 27, 116 yards without a touchdown pass. He did run for a score, was picked off once. There's the offense. Hygis, who missed most of the fourth, a little banged up, but he's good to go at the running back spot today.
And Drew Mears, talked about him in the open as well. Look for Mears to get some separation and help his quarterback out.
People's State Bank starting lineup right there for the Warriors offense. And the senior out of Colorado, 1st and 10 from the 12. And the first play from scrimmage is a Liam Hygis run. That's going to go for a first down out near the 25-yard line. He got 13 yards. Jordan Lacey, the sophomore safety, on the stop. That's a good start. Hopefully he's feeling fresh.
Yeah, and Liam turned 13, what would have been just 3. Great cutback on the inside after initially looked like there were bodies there. He went and got 10 extra.
That People's State Bank starting lineup for the CUC defense gave up 28 points in the first quarter a week ago at home to the Green Knights of St. Norbert. So it's 1st and 10 from the 25, a Best Electric Service first down for the Warriors, with 3 wide receivers to the right. And Griff is going to look for Jamil Gordon. He's caught up in traffic. It's intercepted. Intercepted on the play by Mikel Harris, but penalty flags litter the field. Harris the interception, but as I said, Harris and Gordon were tangled up well before that ball got to either one of them, and now we'll clear things up.
Yeah, Griffith got hit in the pocket. Initially, there was time in the pocket, then it closed quickly. And contact down the field as well, Scott. Which way is it going is the question.
John Doden, the call here.
Pass interference. Defense, number 2. The ball replays like a spotted foul. Automatic first down.
So Harris loses the pick, picks up a PI.
Yeah, again, Griffith, he hangs in the pocket a long time. Not too long, Scott. It just closed up the middle. We talked about the backup center being in there. So Griffith did his part to not panic because he knew he wanted to take that shot downfield.
That contact came before that shot of the interception. So the Warriors pick up a first down off a penalty here at the 38 with both Kohler and Hygis in the backfield. This is Carson Kohler, the sophomore, to the left side. And a decent pickup of 4.5 or so. Caden Strower, the linebacker, on the stop.
Nice first carry, nice patient running there. Just reading your keys, reading the lineman up front, left side, had some openings to squib 4 yards out of it.
Only the 8th rush attempt of the season for Carson Kohler. 2nd down and 6. Pulls it back, and that's an incomplete pass. That was not a backwards pass. It was along the line of scrimmage. It was at the feet of Jamil Gordon. we'll see, Bob, those trips formations. You might even see a quad formation or two as Tresky tries to maybe overload things to one side and spring something on the back end.
Yeah, I was a little busy over there, kind of throwing into a car wash for Griffith.
3rd down and 6.
I also don't think that Nate had a good grip on the football. It kind of came out like he was lobbing a watermelon. It was just really an awkward throw in that busy area.
Warriors 40% on 3rd down conversions here this season. And he's spun out of the sack, and now Griffith is going to be taken down for a sack. A couple of Cougars able to rip him down behind the line of scrimmage back near the 36-yard line. It's a loss of 6 on the play.
That's Aiden Hatchett. He came in untouched. Top of your screen. Flies in. Missed the sack there, but he slowed him up enough to have help on the backside to get the sack, get the loss, force the punt.
Lacey will technically get credit for that sack, but you're right. Hatchett delayed everything.
And here's your weapon, Scott.
10th best punter in the country, Drew Mears. 44 yards on average. And it's a fair catch at the 25. And so here is where the Concordia Chicago offense will begin. An offense that a week ago did put up those 28 points, but they gave up 59. And this is a squad that a season ago was really hamstrung by the Warrior defense in losing 49-14. They've got Colton Bosch at quarterback, the junior, an honorable mention, all conference last year. The tight end Wesley Jackson, a first-team all-NAC honoree. People's State Bank brings us the starting offense for the Cougars of Concordia, Chicago, beginning their first drive at the 25, their own. And Bosch pulls it back and flushed, has to get rid of it, and it falls to the turf, and that is a good early sign because they got in the backfield something they have not done enough of this year.
100%, Scott. That defensive line up front is banged up, as you said, only 1 sack. So even though you don't get the sack there, you're sending an early message that we're going to bring some pressure despite mixing and matching the bodies up front.
People's State Bank Warriors starting defense. Jalen Pereira had a real good second half last week. He won the team's Warrior of the Week award for what he showed against Concordia, Wisconsin. 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars. Just underway, first series for the visitors. Brown ahead for a couple. The junior from St. Joseph, Michigan. And Sam Elke, who has been a tackling maven, got in there to make some of the hit.
And this guy's their bell cow in the backfield. So you can key on number 6 because he's going to get a lot of carries. Comes in 4th in the NAC in rushing. He averages over 100 yards, 108 yards, and 6.4 yards per carry. So he's going to get the football a lot. Key in on him. Take your chances.
3rd and 7. Prowley with a big hit there. Bosch steps up, throws on the run, threw it behind his man, and it's incomplete. The catch was dropped. Would have been a first down. Dropped on the play by the wide receiver Corey Randall, the freshman. Tough catch attempt.
Yeah, Bosch stepping up, and he puts it on him. But, yeah, Randall kind of runs the route and then has to try to shift gears and come back to make the catch. Back judge had the clear view of that as well and said no catch, forcing the punt.
So the Warrior defense, good start, 3 and out. Rushes on. And the punt is away. It's Dennis Vanderplow on the punt, and so the Warrior offense will make its second appearance.
Scott, if I may, I'm not a meteorologist, and I don't play one on TV, but you saw in the opening kickoff, Carson Kohler shielding his eyes, had trouble feeling it. That sun is directly south, and so this side of the field, you're looking directly into that high sky and that sun. Saw it in the warm-ups, too. Guys were shielding their eyes, trying to, make sure they could spot the football and locate the football. So keep an eye on that as the day plays out.
Warriors going north to south here at Robbie Stadium. A couple of first downs on their first drive before turning aside after a sack. Here's Tywin McKinney, and McKinney squirts his way out near the 47-yard line. Well, when you look back at last year's Warriors win, 49-14, Tywin McKinney had the best game of his career against this CUC defense.
Yeah, sure did. 111 yards against the Cougars in their victory a year ago. 49-14 was the final score. Boy, and you think about the game that Emmett Hawkins don't have him, but he had 3 touchdown catches in that game, Scott. Could use him, but McKinney, maybe he can duplicate what he did against Concordia a season ago.
Nobody happier to see CUC come to town than McKinney. He checks out. Here's a toss, and it's incomplete. Ripped it out of the belly of Hygis, elected to throw, and could not connect with Gordon. It'll bring up, third down and 3 with 10:40 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, Logan Camps is the DB. I think he's going to get his paw in here. Yeah, on the backside, no PI. But he just did a good job of waiting till the ball got in his neighborhood, and then he swiped at it.
So 3rd down and 3. Warriors missing on their first 3rd down attempt of the game on their first series. Hygis on 3rd and 3, looking to grind his way towards the marker. He got a yard, but he's still well shy of the sticks. And let's see what Eric Tresky decides to do here.
I know what Dan Campbell would do of the Detroit Lions. Little bobble on the exchange there, Scott, and I think that slowed down the operation and slowed down the head of steam that he had in trying to pick up the first.
Warriors are 3 for 8 on 4th downs this year, and the offense is out there. This is 4th down and 2. Big early moment here for Wisconsin Lutheran. Still 10 on the play clock, no issue there. Shotgun formation. And now they're going to allow Nate Griffith to give a little pooch punt away. And this might have benefited the Warriors big time. Yes, sir. So they kept the offense out there. They have Griffith launch a little pooch punt, and Concordia is going to begin inside their own 5.
Drew Mears saying to his quarterback, hey, man, you're stealing my vibe. But not a bad call, because I was wondering, you're in shotgun and you got a couple yards to pick up, but Eric Tresky had, his tricks in the bag to pull that out, and now you've pinned these guys back inside the 5-yard line.
Well, all those captains, Griffith and Mears and Nevad and Handwork, they all room together, so, they're able to talk. Maybe Mears gave him some punting tips at some point in the apartment. All right, Concordia Chicago pinned inside their 5. Man in motion there is Lawson. Keep it on the ground, trying to find something with Jerron Brown. Nathan Nevad, one of the top tacklers for the Warriors, gets his name called for the first time. One of 4 Warriors, double-digit tackles already this year.
We're a long way from the Cougars' end zone, but Brown leads the NAC in rushing TDs with 5. So if they get inside the red zone, again, even more so, you're going to key on number 6.
2nd down. And Brown again looking to pick something, look for something, and the Warrior defense stood him up shy of the 10-yard line. That's a nice job of not allowing any holes to develop. It is hard against Jerron Brown, to say the least.
Yeah, he had a game opening week against McAllister in the victory. 129 yards, 3 touchdowns, a big 53-yarder thrown in there. So this guy has big play explosiveness there if he can find a seam. Right now the Warriors doing a good job of containing and sealing the seam so he can't get big yards.
Warriors did a good job of bottling up Brown last year, held him to just 36 yards on 11 carries. 3rd down and 4. Bosch scanning, being hit and taken down at the 2-yard line. Just the 2nd sack of the season. And it's Palmer, I believe, that got to him. Yep.
Well, we saw the Cougars come in untouched in their sack. How about Palmer? And almost gets the safety in the process. 2nd sack, as you said, in this, the 4th game of the year. That feels awfully good for the guys up front.
Anthony Hill Jr. had a sack in the opener against St. Scholastica, nothing since. And now Connor Martin on the CUC side of the field. Inside the 40, and the Warriors offense, you go back to the punt by Griffith, then the sack by Palmer, and the offense is sitting pretty.
Yeah, you're setting the table now for the offense. You're in Cougars territory. Now, Scott, this is where the offense has to take advantage. Special teams and the defense did their part. Now the offense needs to cash in here. That would probably qualify as a good start here in the first quarter.
Yeah, we think fast start, good start. You think points right away. Well, it can come in other variations.
Absolutely.
From the 37, best starting field position, obviously, for the Warriors so far today. Kohler and Hygis in the backfield. They're going to throw it to Carson out of the backfield. Looking to get the edge. Makes a man miss and carries it down near the 30-yard line for a pickup of 7. Kohler out of the backfield. Caden Strower, the freshman, able to run laterally to bring him down.
Number 5 is Brandon Shipp. He's the linebacker, Scott. He's trailing on the backside of this play, but he continues to trail because the pass was perfect. He leads Kohler out there so he can get it, but then also evade Shipp.
Fifth catch of the season for Carson Kohler. It's a dynamic backfield. They can do more things, Hygis and Kohler, than just, quote-unquote, run the ball. Blitz picked up beautifully. Griff going deep, and he was looking for Gordon. Tangled up in coverage down there with Jordan Lacey.
You mentioned it, Scott. Hygis, he went low on the man. Blitz was coming in from that right side again, and it at least gave Nate a chance to hang in the pocket longer and take that shot downfield.
Coach Eric Tresky talking about wanting to strike big in the passing game. We've seen them try to hit Gordon now twice. They got the pass interference earlier in the quarter, and that one just let him a little too long. 3rd down and 4. Split backfield. Griff kept it himself and picks up a first down. Run pass option. He chose the right option.
Yeah, and part of his game, Scott, that he worked on in the offseason and continues to work on here. Stronger to not only make this read, but with his body to just go in there strong and hard and know where the chains needed to be moved.
Had a 41-yard touchdown run last week, did the quarterback Nate Griffith. Scoreless game as we approach 6 to play in this first quarter. Week 4 of the college football season, week 2 of Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference play. Fresh set of downs as Griff looked left, nothing doing, comes back right, tucks, keeps, and scampers out of bounds to the 16-yard line. He got 9, close to 10, and close to a Warriors first down, just a little bit short. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
See, that's the smart play by Griffith, and the right play, because this is option 3, right? He's looking left, nothing there. Looking right, nothing there. But he sees the opening and sprints to get 9 yards out of it. That's going through your progressions and taking the smart play, not forcing anything in the middle of the field.
Brandon Shipp, the freshman linebacker, scampers on to the field for Concordia Chicago. Warriors in the red zone. And Griffith to throw, and on the slant, it's deflected and falls incomplete. Oh, my goodness, that was risky. Jonathan Ongst nearly picked it off, stepping in front of the intended target. We should mention the Warriors in the red zone. All visits to the red zone sponsored by Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack agent representing Auto Owners Insurance.
Yeah, Drew Mears, the intended receiver, but he didn't put it on the other side. He was trying to lead Mears, but Mears wasn't there. And as you said, Ongst was the closest man in the vicinity, nearly had the INT, and that would have been disastrous in that red zone.
3rd and 1. Tresky looking on. Give it to the freshman of the year to pick up a first down, and he will. Washer washed him to the sidelines.
Long way to get 3-4 yards and the first down, but watch Liam just string this out, and he avoids a tackle, and then it's like, I'm going to beat you to that stick.
Best Electric first down for Wisconsin Lutheran at the 12, trying to score first. They have not scored a point in the first quarter through their first 3 games, with under 5 to play in the first here today, trying to change that script. Hygis will be deployed. Now Griffith ripped down. That one did not look smooth. Not sure if that was a broken play or what. Adam Lambaz able to take down the Warrior quarterback.
Yeah, Hygis was in motion and moving parallel with his quarterback, but yeah, it kind of looked like it might have been a busted play because Hygis didn't look like he was waiting for a pitch or a toss in the backfield either.
Warriors can get a first down at around the 2.5 yard line or so. Keep that in mind. Hygis looking, first down, touchdown, Wisconsin Lutheran College. And for the first time this year, the Warriors throw the first punch. A sit, mean, sit, dog training. First down for number 11, Liam Hygis.
It's a great vision run by Hygis. Watch him recognize on the left side, hole, and then I'll continue to zigzag. And once you get to the secondary, Hygis is going to win that war each and every time, 9 times out of 10 if you're going up against one of the guys in the defensive backfield. Great vision off the left side by Hygis.
Nikolai Amaya Overchuk now. This has been a problem point for the Warriors all season. Trying to get a PAT and make it a 7-0 score. Miko's kick, low line drive. It was, I think, tipped at the line. And the struggles continue for the Warriors, who will lead 6-0 with 4:04 to go in the first.
Again, look at the cut and then recognizing if I zigzag and I just keep reading where those other burgundy bodies are. That's just again, the good vision by your back, taking it all the way in, not the first down, but the touchdown.
8 plays, 37 yards. Let's check in with Wayne Chevy.
On that last defensive stand by the Warriors, you named Marshall Palmer as the guy who picked up the sack. If you were paying attention on the pass interference penalty on Concordia Chicago earlier, Simeon Zarling's helmet came off, the center. Marshall Palmer went in to play center for the one snap where he had to come out. So he's been off injured. He's a senior. He's getting on the field a couple of different times and making a big impact for the Warriors. Back to you guys.
Hey, sometimes when your number's called, even if it's on the other side of the ball, you got to do it.
Next man up, right?
Yeah.
Truly, in this case.
So the Warriors strike and a 6-0 lead. Time for a Dunn Sporting Goods kickoff. Kevon Lawson is back.
Keeping the ball on the tee has been an issue here today. The wind, we showed you, it picked up. It wasn't this strong during the pregame 2 hours before kickoff, but it has definitely picked up. It's from the south, so it's a warm breeze today on a warm day.
Devin Lair handles the kickoff duties. Again, we saw Mikolai Amaya Overchuk attempt the point after, and it's Lair that handles the kickoffs. Kind of a sidewinder, and snagged on the shoulder pad, as it were, by Washer. So Concordia Chicago now down 6-0. And there's an injured Warrior down on the field. I believe that's Tyler Vetch. Officials timeout for an injury. They'll check it out. They'll check on him, whether business or pleasure brings you to the Milwaukee area. Sonesta Milwaukee West Wauwatosa offers an experience for all. The hotel is just minutes from the interstate, a quick drive from downtown, and provides an abundance of complimentary parking. Tasteful guest rooms provide a home away from home. Over 6,000 square feet of meeting space are ready to be transformed for your unique gathering. Staying at Sonesta means a short jaunt to American Family Field, Milwaukee County Zoo, State Fair Park, even historic Robbie Stadium itself. Sonesta Milwaukee West Wauwatosa. By the way, it's the home of the Warriors' annual Hall of Fame ceremony. We were there about 10 days ago or so as they help the injured Warrior off the field. It's been a banged-up group, that's for sure. Been a war of attrition in a lot of ways at a lot of positions.
Yeah, and in some cases, Scott, some key positions where you can say next man up, but it's guys that have to learn on the fly, baptism by fire as it is.
Concordia Chicago was ready to snap the ball, and the injured Warrior was being helped off the field. Give him a couple moments there, guys. Okay, we're set to go. 1st and 10 now for CUC from the 28-yard line. Brown has nothing doing for Brown. 3-4 different Warrior defenders there swarming him big time. I think Nathan Prawley was one of them to get in early.
Well, and he's trying to do what Liam Hedges did, right? He's trying to navigate, find that opening on the left side, but there was no opening. He's dancing, hoping that something would open up, but it never did. Clogged up front with a lot of black jerseys.
Loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 for Colton Bosch and company. And he'll throw. Scampering, lets it rip, hits out of the backfield, Jerron Brown. First time his number's been called as a receiver today. Sam Elke pushes him out at around the 35-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and about 3, maybe 4.
This helps the Cougars because your experienced quarterback was able to buy some time. And then it also bought time for Brown to get out of that backfield and give himself some separation on the backside of the linebackers.
5th catch of the season for Jerron Brown. And now he flanks Bosch to his right. Kevon Lawson split wide to the left. Haven't looked for Lawson yet. He is their leading receiver. That time they go to the first team All-MAC tight end Wesley Jackson. First time we've called his name now. He's a great target, and it picks up a 1st down.
Yeah, 6'1" target, strong dude as well. So he's not afraid to go over the middle, go into that teeth of that defense, and make that difficult catch.
Kaysen McFadden on the tackle for Wisconsin Lutheran. It's a Best Electric Service 1st down for Concordia Chicago. Warriors up 6-0. 2 minutes left, opening quarter. Brown spins his way out across the 45 near the 46-yard line for a gain of 4 yards. Wisconsin Lutheran getting a Liam Hedges touchdown run a few moments ago on their last possession to score the first points of this opening quarter.
See, the Cougars, Scott, maybe trying to get Brown lathered up here, through to him. Now he gets a run with positive yards. They need him to be that bell cow today. They need him to pile up the yards. And again, when they get close to the end zone, he's their guy.
Brown with 17. This is a pass for Randall, and it's incomplete. Coverage coming on the play that time for the Warriors. Martin, number 1.
Coverage was good, Scott,
yeah.
But the guys up front with an awesome push. Extra bodies were coming in hot, and that's why Bosch had to get rid of it. Didn't have time to sit in the pocket and try to drop it in the bucket for his receiver. Good all-around defense, up front and downfield.
Cougars are 1 out of 3. Check it, 2 out of 4. In 3rd down so far. Brown deployed now, an empty backfield for Bosch and company. Low snap, picks it up. Timing is thrown off, and he is going to be thrown down. Forward progress, maybe the line of scrimmage. Actually, it's going to be a sack. They're going to rule him a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Nathan Prawley, I think, was the first guy there. That's the 2nd sack of the first quarter for the WLCD.
Gotta love what the defense is doing, dialing up the pressure. And you said it, Scott, the snap was low, but it seems like Bosch kind of panicked early. He didn't set himself. He had some time, but he was looking around, head on a swivel, wondering where to go, and then the pressure engulfed him.
Warriors have doubled their season sack total in this first quarter alone. Palmer and now Prawley as the punt is away. And Connor Martin's going to pick it up and take a knee. And with less than 30 seconds to go in this first quarter, the Warriors lead 6-0 in the offense, coming out for what will be their 3rd possession of this opening frame.
And that's, again, it's a big stop because you did what you had to do on special teams and then the defense to pin them back, and then you got the 6 points out of that equation. Then the defense steps up, and they don't allow a matching touchdown. So everything going the Warriors' way here in quarter number 1.
Tywin McKinney in at tailback. He to the right of Griffith. Hygis to the left. Tywin McKinney gets his second carry of the ball game. Looking to stretch to the corner. He's found the corner and more. Fumbled it out of bounds, but picked up plenty. First down and more for Tywin McKinney, who ran all over the Cougars last year in Chicago, and he's off to a similar start here as he carries it out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, 5'9", but 210. So this is a tough dude to bring down. And he's got great acceleration after the patient run he needed first to get to that edge. And then once he got there, Ty turns it on and picks up a big chunk to end the quarter.
Best Electric Service first down will take us to the end of quarter number 1. Warriors with a first down upcoming at their own 37. 6-0 Wisconsin Lutheran leading the Cougars of Concordia, Chicago. Second quarter is next. You're watching People's State Bank coverage of Warriors football presented by Legacy Insurance Group.
When you bank with People's State Bank, you're never alone when it comes to your finances. In fact, in a recent survey, customers said our bankers were helpful, flexible, and willing to work with their situation more than any other response. So if you're going it alone with your bank, we invite you to join our community and experience what it's like with People's State Bank on your side. Visit us at bankpeoples.com.
I've been playing this game since I was 6 years old. I'm grateful for every coach, teammate, and supporter who invested in me. From the first snap to now my final season in college, football taught me how to work hard, serve others, and the importance of protecting what matters. These lessons don't end on the field. They're the foundation of how I serve my clients today. As your trusted independent insurance advisor, I'm committed to providing great coverage, fair pricing, and service you can count on.
First play, second quarter, Tywin McKinney, touchdown. We got back from break just in time to see Tywin McKinney, who just had a 20-yard run going to the break, score a sit-mean-sit dog training touchdown, his second career, this time out of the passing game.
And plenty of time in the pocket, and look how open McKinney is. They forgot about 44, which he's just gashed you on the last play to end the quarter, and they forgot about him coming out of the backfield.
Again, it's worth pointing out, a season ago against Concordia Chicago, McKinney had his best game offensively. He's looking to surpass it. Okay, the Warriors had a PAT blocked on their last attempt. This is a two-point conversion. Griffith back, line of the end zone, leaping catch is made. The conversion to the tight end, Keith Johnson, and it's 14-0 Wisconsin Lutheran College.
I think you're going to see more and more of Eric Tresky going for two, whether you need it or not. But look, here's the run. This is how he ended the first quarter, and that's, again, how do you forget about 44 if you're the Cougars? Well, they forgot about him, and that left him wide open for that little catch and go.
So that scoring drive, 2 plays, 83 yards, sponsored by Tywin McKinney because he had all 83, 20 on that run, and then 63 here.
See him burst out of the backfield, Scott, and the burst continues. I mean, look how far he got downfield. He comes out of the backfield and picks up 20, 25 yards before he turns, and the ball is right there. And none of the linebackers picked up 44 out of that backfield.
Biggest pass play for Wisconsin Lutheran's offense in 2025. Tresky wanted big plays out of the passing game. Had a couple of opportunities in the first quarter that did not connect. Boy, did that one ever.
Yeah, that's the big chunk play that you're talking about. You're turning what could be a routine play. Maybe it's just a screen pass, right, that goes for 10, 15 yards. That is what Eric Tresky is talking about. Can we turn the normal into the super? And that was super, taking it all the way to the house.
Dunn Sporting Goods kickoff with 10 seconds gone by in this second quarter. Longest reception of McKinney's career. And a booming kick with the aid of the wind now from right to left. And it's Devin Lair that booms it through the north end zone with his team up 14-0. And this defense, which has already recorded a couple of sacks, heading back out there with a 2-score lead.
You know, if you're game planning, if you're the Warriors and you're game planning that first quarter, pretty much everything went on script, right? You did a lot of good things on both sides of the ball, except for the missed PAT. But you made up for that with a 2-point play. But then you tack on the first play of the second quarter, and you don't rest on your laurels and say, that was a great first quarter, guys. No, you extend it right into that second quarter and punch it in.
Cougars looking to answer. Little end around. This is Kevon Lawson. They haven't hit him in the passing game yet, so they try to incorporate him on the ground. And Lawson picks up a first down for CUC.
Yeah, this is Agent Zero, I like to call him. 5'7", 140. He's a little bug, isn't he? So they try to give him ways to get him the football, and he can do some special things.
Layson handwork, able to undercut him, but not before he takes it up to the 36-yard line. Cougars looking to get some points. There's Lawson again. They're going to try in the other direction this time, and this time he's roped down at the 40, shy of the first down. He's a weapon. You know, the Warriors have that kind of in Emmett Hawkins and Jamil Gordon, and that's kind of what number 0, Kevon Lawson, is for CUC.
Yeah, maybe the Warrior defense, though, they said we've seen this act before just go in the other direction, so good job spying where Agent Zero was that time.
Landon Bryant, the freshman from Onalaska, on the tackle. 2nd down and 6 for the Cougars. With the Warriors up 14-0. Stop me if you've heard this before. Lawson on the move. This time Bosch is going to keep it straight ahead, and he got 2, maybe 3. And a play like that is set up by your last 2 decisions to Lawson.
Absolutely. It's eye candy now, Scott, in the backfield. You had to watch Lawson, but also Brown's back there. And Bosch is doing a good job of disguising which guy he's going to, and then he calls his own number. But you're trying to instill that in this Warriors defense. Where are we going with the football?
3rd down and 3. Cougars 1 out of 4 in 3rd downs. They'll go straight ahead. 1st down. Jerron Brown spins his way into Wisconsin Lutheran territory off a Best Electric Service 1st down run. And that time showing his abilities and moves the sticks.
Best run of the day for this kid, number 6. Strong run again, and he got the hole that he needed. That hole was not there in the first quarter, so blocking better up front on that run by Brown to get him into Warrior territory.
Brown about 20 yards on the ground so far here today. Fresh set of downs. Bosch pulls it back. Has time, throws across the middle, in traffic, intercepted. It's Kason McFadden, and the Warriors, with the first takeaway of this day, pick up where they left off a week ago.
Well, this time Bosch makes the mistake testing this experienced secondary on the backside. He's got time and dances out of trouble and then gets to set himself, but he doesn't see McFadden cutting back across in front of the play. That's that secondary squeezing. If the guys up front can just apply enough pressure, McFadden and company can get to where they need to get that INT.
First pick for the senior from Wiley, Texas. And for the defense of Steve Donovan, it is the 4th interception of the season, all in the last, 6 quarters. And now Griffith and company back to work and going down. Blitz was there, pressure big time. Brandon Shipp, the linebacker, with the sack of Nate Griffith. It's a loss of about 8.
Yeah, the ship sailed that time, Scott, and we've seen him come in and apply that pressure from that side. And there he is. Again, he comes in untouched. They were able to pick him up and chip him the last time he came in there, but not this time. So Ship's going to draw some attention because he's come in cleanly too many times here in the first half.
Officially a loss of 7, 2nd down and 17. Second sack for the Cougars defense. Let's see if Liam Hygis can get something back. Very little, if any.
And that was a big sack by Ship, Scott, because momentum was shifting, right? Warriors just got that touchdown. Now they get the pick. They're at midfield. Cougars' heads are spinning a little bit. So they get the sack to push them backwards and kind of reestablish
their mojo here to get the football back for their offense.
3rd down and 16. Warriors 2 for 4 on 3rd down so far, but this is far and away their longest 3rd down attempt of the season. With 11:02 to go before halftime, Warriors pitching the shutout. Hygis deployed, and Griffith looking to run, and he's taken down back near the 40. And just to amplify your point, Bob, that's exactly what the visiting Cougars needed. And if you're over there on that sideline and you're the new defensive coordinator, Charlie Druick, who, by the way, was last year's conference assistant coach of the year when he was at St. Norbert, that is exactly what you wanted. That's exactly what you got.
Well, now you bring out your weapon again. Wind at his back too, Scott, so this might be fun.
He's averaging 43.5 today. That's about his season average. Oh, it's a boomer. End over end. It's going to hit at the 10 and carry him through the end zone for a touchback. Yeah, good moment here for Concordia Chicago, without a doubt. Momentum in a Warriors uniform, especially after that interception and leading 14-0. And you get 2 negative plays, and they bottle up Hygis on the other play, and that's exactly what Druick drew up. Interesting backstory, though, Bob. I mentioned Charlie Druick, the DC for CUC. Spent the last handful of years in conference at St. Norbert, one of the top defenses in the nation at St. Norbert. As I said, he was the 2024 NAC Assistant Coach of the Year, and he transferred. He hit the transfer portal. He's at Concordia Chicago now, which may or may not explain why St. Norbert hung 28 in the first quarter last week. Maybe they had a little extra in the tank, knowing who their DC is. Okay, Jerron Brown probing his way to the left side and coming up shy of the 30.
Brown went off the left side that time, Scott, but I got to point out for the Cougars, 77 is Daniel Banks. 6'3", 355 is number 77. I'm not sure why you don't run behind that young man. He is a space eater up front, is 77. He's on that left side at the top of your screen.
Left tackle.
At the left tackle spot, but that's a load.
The brain trust of the Warriors offense on the sidelines, scheming and planning, and Brown swarmed under. Who wanted a piece of him? Prolly. Nevad is there as well. I think we can also mention Landon Bryant's name. All 3 guys meeting there in the backfield.
Yeah, got in the backfield quickly and went right around, by the way, number 77, who's taking up a lot of space on the left side. But, you know, a guy that big, sometimes you can just sashay around that big body. Get in that backfield early. Disrupt Brown. Don't give him any lanes to get comfortable.
Korb, number 8, in there as well. So we see this alignment for the first time. There's 4 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left, and an empty backfield on 3rd down and 7. And Bosch flushed, looking downfield. In between the hash marks, it's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. That one was high-pointed. It looked like he had his man. I think that was Randall, number 7, who's slow to get up. It looked like Randall had it. Bryant was there in coverage, but when he came down, he lost it with the turf.
You're exactly right, Scott. Randall sets himself, and he's going to go up and get this football. And is it knocked down or is it the turf? Yeah, it's the turf. Squibs out right there. Good coverage. I mean, Landon Bryant did all he could to stay with him. And when 7 went up, I agree with you. I thought catches made. Bosch put it in the right place where only his receiver could get it.
Is that when we pull out the old complete the process of the catch terminology?
Ground cannot cause a fumble, so it's not a fumble either.
Martin back to receive this punt. Hits at his own 42, takes a Cougars roll.
That's smart, hitting into the wind. Just keep it low, keep it a line drive, take the roll on the carpeting.
Warriors 2 touchdowns here today. Hygis on the ground, and then Nate Griffith connecting with a running back, Tywin McKinney, through the air, 63-yarder. And you see Eric Tresky with the play call. And the offense huddled around him. 6th-year head coach of the Warriors. One of the most positive guys you'll ever meet. And hopefully everybody will be in a positive mindset by the time this afternoon is over. Warriors get a win in their first of the season. So we see a trip set to the bottom of your screen. First time we've seen that alignment today. Hygis on the carry, however, and Concordia not fooled.
Yeah, they weren't buying it. They had a couple bodies down below, but they're almost daring Griffith to throw the football, even with 3 bodies zigzagging trying to get open. That was going to be run all the way.
Short gain of 1. Tresky was happy with the way his team handled last week's adversity via the multiple weather delays. Stress to us this week, we got to take the solid plays and find a way to turn them into special plays. They've had a special play already in the passing game. Now Griffith looking for Mears and overshot him and everybody and into the sidelines with coverage on the play by Hagen Washer.
Yeah, Washer was locked up with his man Mears that time and did a good job of just enveloping him and engulfing him and not providing any pass interference flags to be thrown. He just went with them stride for stride.
Griffith, 1 out of 7, but that one completion was rather significant because it went for 63. 3rd down and 9. Concordia trying to pitch a second straight 3 and out. Griffith is going to keep it this time. Leans his way up near the 40. He's going to be shy by maybe a yard or 2. Austin Jackson, the senior defensive tackle, stopping him shy of the sticks.
Good job to run right because Caden Storer, the linebacker, was careening in from the right side and the backside. If that play went to him, it would have been a collision, would have been bumper cars and no yards gained. Still got a punt here. That's about 2.5. Still too long to try to go for it. And again, you got the wind behind you here, Scott.
Mears got it away. There was some pressure there. A tight spiral. Kind of a lateral bounce here. And it's out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. So the Cougar offense is coming on out. Dunn Sporting Goods has been the leader in creating custom apparel in the Milwaukee area since 1982. Creating T-shirts, team apparel, spirit wear, and more by screen printing, sublimation embroidery, and other innovative ways. This small family business loves to create strong relationships with their customers that keeps them coming back year after year. And with in-house screen printing and embroidery, they're able to keep prices low and turnarounds quick. Dunn Sporting Goods in West Allis, 43 years of creating outstanding apparel. So under 7 to go in the half. Cougars looking to replicate their defense's performance with the offensive side, and this time Colton Bosch is going to keep it, strung out, and then tackled by Sam Halke out near the 32, near the 33-yard line. Not bad. That's about a 7-yard run for the quarterback, Bosch.
Again, it's giving this defense something else to think about, that Bosch will call his own number. We've already seen what Brown can do, and we've seen what Kevon Lawson now has weaved his way into this offensive attack.
4th carry for Bosch. Back to Brown, on the ground. 1st down, Concordia, Chicago.
Both of these quarterbacks, Scott, they're not the type that we've seen, at least so far, that are going to skid and go down. They want to run right in the defense and take the licks. Not afraid to mix it up. Always trying to get an extra yard or 2.
Best Electric Service 1st down for Concordia, Chicago, trailing 14-0. Both teams with all 3 timeouts still in their pockets, plus the 2-minute timeout, of course, in this half. Oh, Brown trying to fight out of a group of Warriors and did a heck of a job to get a yard. And it was Pereira, part of that throng of Warriors.
Yeah, and message received to the defensive guys, this guy's not going to go down with a solo tackle. So we need to get a lot of hats on the football when number 6 has it. And we've seen that time and time again, getting a bunch of guys in the backfield. Maybe somebody makes the solo tackle, but you have to slow this guy down first.
Palmer was the first Warrior in there to kind of slow him up, Pereira and others brought him down. 2nd down and 9. Lawson in motion, left to right. Bosch elects to keep it himself and goes nowhere. Handwork, the tackle for the Warriors. There are 2 other games going on today in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. At last check, Lakeland was winning at Rockford 14-0. Concordia, Wisconsin, an early 7-0 lead at home to Benedictine. Tonight it's Aurora and Eureka. St. Norbert has the bye. There's always one team on a bye in the 9-team conference. And as he throws, intercepted Elke. It came off the pressure by Korb. That led to the fluttering pass, and the Warriors have their 2nd interception of the opening half. This one to Sam Elke.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. Watch the pressure. Bad decision by Bosch. Maybe he's trying to throw it away, but because the pressure comes down low and it came in there quickly, he's not able to get enough muster on it to find his own sidelines and live for another down.
Sam Elke, who entered play today as the Warriors' leading tackler, has his first, make it his 2nd interception. He did have one last week against Concordia. Warriors have their 2nd pick of the half. And with 4:23 to go, leading 14-0. And starting at the 40-yard line. Little toss on an end around. Gordon strung out, taken down. Just could not get that corner. Warriors, and Tresky has told us they got to do a little bit better sealing off that edge. They've had some trouble getting their quick guys, their skill guys around the corner, and more often than not, it's the inability to seal the edge.
Yeah, Louis Mobley right there, 49, the linebacker. He comes in and doesn't make the tackle, but he was in there stride for stride, slowed up enough so that his teammate could come in and force that loss of 1.
2nd down and 11. Short side of the field here. They're working off the near hash marks, and then you put a trio, make it 4 actually. You've got 4 guys here on the short side of the field. Gordon, Amack, Reeder, and Mears. Hyges breaking tackles, undercut, leans forward, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for Wisconsin Lutheran College as Liam Hyges able to break tackles. Caden Strohr, the last guy to bring him down.
Yeah, 4 guys, and you named all of them, Scott, and then what do? You hand it off to Hyges, who goes up the middle, because they couldn't ignore, the Cougars could not ignore those 4 guys. They had to have some bodies on bodies over there, and that left an opening up the middle for Hyges. So you dress it up, and you get those defensive bodies to that side of the football field, and Liam's able to find where there's not going to be bodies.
Warriors burn a timeout. Liam Hyges at 50 yards on the ground to lead the Warriors' ground attack. Nate Griffith, just 2 out of 7 in the passing game, but as we already talked about, one of those 2 completions, a 63-yard touchdown strike to Tywin McKinney out of the backfield on a warm but a little breezier than we thought Saturday afternoon. Shade important, and folks trying to find some.
We'll all be raking leaves in a couple weeks, so that we'll look back fondly at this day in the last week of September.
Coming up at halftime, had an opportunity to talk with Nathan Nevad, one of those great Warriors linebackers. Of course, Nevad and Handwork, good friends, both from Merritt Island, Florida, played high school ball together. Came up to WLC to play college football. And a great side story is that both Layson Handwork and Nathan Nevad are also on the grounds crew at American Family Field. And I have asked them, and they have confirmed that if the Brewers do something special, those 2 guys would be in line for a World Series ring. Can you imagine 2 kids from Merritt Island, Florida, go to Milwaukee to play Division III college football, and they might get a World Series ring if things go right?
What a year the Brewers are having, and those guys might have.
That would be a great, great story. All right, 3rd down and 3 for the Warriors. Just 2 out of 6 on 3rd downs as Griffith's going to keep it himself, lean forward, and he'll pick it up. He got 4 when he needed 3. A Best Electric Service first down for the Warriors QB.
I like what Nate did right there, Scott. Watch him just pause a beat and then gather the football in and get to where he needed to get. He didn't try to have some big home run play. He just needed the 4 yards that he got.
The Warriors do not have to snap this football here to get to the 2-minute timeout, but they will. And Griffith is going to throw. McKinney out of the backfield again. Tywin first down. What a half for the young man from Kingdom Prep. 2-minute timeout. Sponsored by Today's Dentistry, with the Warriors up 14-0 on My 24.
All right, Tim, I got all your policies here.
Okay, nice. But what if...
Covered.
Nice. But what if...
All set.
But what if...
Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense.
Nice.
Ask Insurance Producers Network in southeastern Wisconsin if auto owners make sense for you.
The electrical system in your home may not be keeping up. If things aren't working like they're supposed to, don't wait until it's a catastrophe.
That's it.
We're calling Best Electric.
Best Electric can handle any residential job, big or small. All estimates are upfront and even include financing options. Mention this ad and receive a complimentary electrical safety inspection with any service call. So don't settle for fine. Connect with the best. Best Electric.
One minute, 59 seconds to play. Warriors have entered the red zone. All red zone visits are sponsored by Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack agent representing Auto Owners Insurance. 14-0, Wisconsin Lutheran College. Tywin McKinney, over 100 yards of total offense in this first half. Griffith to throw. He's got Mears on a little slant, and Drew takes it near the 9 and near another first down.
And you can be patient here. You can run the football. You've got 2 timeouts. You want this clock to run as well. That's a good play, though, coming out of the 2-minute. It's the 2-minute.
Timeout.
Oh, I caught myself. I caught
Don't
myself.
you dare call it a 2-minute warning, or else, the NCAA
right.
is going to come for you.
That's right. But you see what the Warriors are doing here. They're looking back. They're taking their time, letting this clock run. You want to score, but don't leave a whole lot on the clock for the Cougars.
2nd and 1, and it'll be the defense of Concordia Chicago to take the timeout, as they saw what the Warriors were showing on a 2nd down and short. We'll keep it right here. Boy, Bob, we started this broadcast talking about Wisconsin Lutheran wanting to get off to a fast start. Well, they didn't score on their first drive, but they did get their first points of the first quarter all year. We talked about them wanting to strike big in the passing game, and they did on the 63-yarder to McKinney. What more can you say about the defense than that goose egg next to the Concordia Chicago logo?
Yeah, that is really helping the offense be more comfortable, not feeling like, we have to score every time we get the football, because you don't want to get into a shootout, right? This offense doesn't want to get into a shootout. Well, they're not in a shootout. They're setting the tone offensively. But I agree. I think this defense, by pitching the shutout so far, is allowing the offense to just be methodical in their approach, not feel like they have to have some big home run ball. They'll take it, but so far we've seen the little short passes, especially McKinney. He's turning short passes into big gainers, and that's all you need to make it a special play.
Tywin McKinney, again, 101 in total yards, and there you see him, number 44, flanked to the left of the quarterback, height just to the right. Gordon in motion, 2nd and 1. Griffith to throw, looking again on a slant. He connects with Drew Mears, and Drew will take this thing inside the 5, setting up 1st and goal. Jonathan Ongst on coverage, very similar to the play they connected on moments ago.
Yeah, pass is a little high for Mears. If he's leading him and puts it into his belly right there, then maybe he's able to shake off the defender and take it in for 6. But still, you're taking what this defense is giving you. And that was available over the middle. Twice now to Mears on this drive.
Warriors 2 timeouts in no hurry here. Little pitch. Gordon cutting, still on his feet, And finally taken down at the 3 with the clock running at 40 seconds. It'll be second down and goal from there.
That's okay. That's okay. You're winding more clock here. You still got a lot of time. This play had the potential right there. You needed to make that cut sooner, Scott.
Just a little.
Just a little. And that allowed, you can see how many Cougars were there, 5, 6.
2 timeouts left, 20 seconds to go. And now the timeout comes with 18 seconds to play in the half. We'll hear from Eric Tresky. He'll join Wayne Chevy as soon as this half comes to a close.
All right, it's got 1 timeout left for the Warriors. You can still run the football here on second down. Still run it if you want. Still run clock, and then use that last timeout to set up your third down play. So you don't have to try to force it in here because it's going to be the last play before halftime. So a lot of options here in Eric Tresky's tool belt. What is he going to draw up here to try to punch this one in? And you've got 2 downs and that timeout to do it.
Again at halftime, a conversation with Warriors graduate student linebacker Nathan Nevad. First half highlights coming up. The highlight, in a lot of ways, has been the defense. What they have done so far has been impressive stuff.
Yeah, agreed. The pressure came early and often, almost a safety there. And that was after that pooch punt.
Mm-hmm.
And then it set up the first score. But you can see Bosch, he's been uncomfortable in the pocket all afternoon. Not able to get set. Brown not able to get any big chunk runs.
Second down and goal from the 3. Hygis breaking ankle tackles, leaning to the goal line for his second score. And Wisconsin Lutheran extends to 20-0. A sit-mean-sit touchdown. The second of the game for number 11.
Don't need to burn the timeout. And Hygis, if at first you don't succeed, he was stopped in the backfield, Scott. It was going to be an ankle tackle that would have got him at the line of scrimmage. But watch, continuing to go through and then getting to the goal line and hanging on to the football. That's just Hygis being stronger in the backfield.
Mikolai Amaya Overchuk had a PAT blocked on the first touchdown. This one is up, and this one is pure. And the Warriors lead 21-0.
Again, stopped right there. Bodies down below. You saw 95. He was actually being blocked. That's Adam Lambaz was being blocked in, but he almost brought Hygis down with him. And then Hygis was able to recognize, hey, he's coming low. I can go high and scoot out of the way. And there was an opening once he scooted to take it in for 6.
Hygis, who missed most of the fourth quarter last week, got banged up a little bit. Looks fresh, looks healthy, and offering his appreciation to his linemen for his second score of this first half. Dunn Sporting Goods kickoff is upon us. Devin Lair to do the honors for the Warriors. 15 seconds away from pitching a first half shutout and putting up 21.
Cougars are going to get the football to start the second half, Scott, so I doubt they do anything cute here once they get their mitts on it here.
You talk about as close to a perfect half as you can have.
Mm-hmm.
Your offense has scored 21. Your defense has pitched a shutout. You've got not one but 2 takeaways. Warriors have not been penalized. You'd be hard-pressed to find something they've done wrong, at least through the layman's eyes of a broadcaster. I know the coaches can always find something, but still, well done, gentlemen.
Well, you game plan, right? And this is probably as close to the game plan as Eric Tresky could imagine, right? We need to apply pressure. We need to strike when we get those opportunities. We need to be special on special teams. And in all 3 phases, we've seen them execute. And the Cougars are going to have to be the ones at halftime who make an adjustment to what the Warriors are doing here in the first half.
You come to the ball game with a checklist of things to do. Score big on the passing play in the passing game. Get some pressure in the backfield.
Get points in the first quarter. Use your weapons. You're checking all the boxes here if you're the Warriors.
This has been the best half of Warriors football in 2025, and Concordia Chicago will take a knee. And so we will go to the break with Wisconsin Lutheran seeking their first win, and conference win for that matter, of the season, 21-0. Boy, as good as it gets. And we'll go down to the field and get the comments of Eric Tresky. Wayne, what you got?
You got that from Ty Wynn towards the end of the half. What do you feel like looking for an
We've been able to actually get the ball on the edges a little bit. Some of the flare game, a couple little slant routes, those things. That controls the box. And you guys know as well as I do, our run game's been our strength this year, but now being able to do a few of those things forces you to honor the whole field, and that's been good to see. Nate's doing a nice job seeing things, using his feet when needed. It's been a good half.
2 sacks, 2 turnovers. Talk about the defense.
Defense is getting after. I just talked to Coach. Are you dialing up a lot of pressure? Because I don't get to see, right? It's kind of the ironic thing during game day. I don't get to watch our D a whole lot. And he goes, honestly, not until they started running heavy. But our guys are playing really hard up front. They're active. Secondary's been very disciplined. That was a really big key to preparation. Fun to see.
Yeah, best of skill.
We got to finish now. Yep.
For sure.
Thank you, guys. God bless.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Wayne, and thank you, Eric Tresky. It's going to be a happy coach. I know there's always adjustments you want to make, but as he jogs back to the locker room, that group has got to be very pleased. Long way to go. 30 down, 30 to go as they attempt to get their first W of 2025. Our halftime programming comes your way in a couple of moments. A conversation with the graduate student linebacker Nathan Nevad. Stick with us as we spotlight Nate Nevad. This is People's State Bank coverage of WLC Warriors football presented by Legacy Insurance Group.
The Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, a collection of 14 private colleges and universities, is proud to be one of the premier NCAA Division III conferences in the Midwest. Our mission is simple but powerful: to put students first, support their academic and athletic success, and prepare them for life beyond college. The NAC is a model for what college athletics should be: competitive, balanced, and student-centered. We are proud of our past, excited about our future, and most of all, proud of the student athletes who make the NAC a launch point for future leaders.
I'm ready for the sermon. Every chance I get, I gotta make it back to service. I'm just trying to listen to the preacher, but here come the deacon who be acting for a feature.
This isn't just another college.
If you are looking for a university where the professors care about you, you can meet friends who have the same values as you, and you're going to be in a super fun area with a ton of student activities and fun stuff to do, then you want to go to WLC.
This is a place where you'll engage in Christ-centered academics and student life experiences that activate your potential.
Learning here at WLC is incredibly hands-on learning. You get a bunch of different experiences.
You can really balance academics with athletics or fine arts or any extracurriculars.
I don't think a single student here graduates without thinking that they are a Christian leader. You get everything when you come here. You get a wonderful community of people. You get endless opportunities.
WLC initially was just a college for me, but now it's a home.
Your greatest adventure starts here. Visit WLC.edu/purpose to learn more.
Welcome back inside Warriors Halftime Show. I'm Scott Warris. Our spotlight guest this weekend is graduate student. He's a linebacker. He's one of the captains. It's Nathan Nevad. Nate, thanks for the time. Appreciate it very much in doing this. We like to kind of tell the story off the field a little bit in these spotlight sessions. Merritt Island, Florida. Again, you're one of the Merritt Island guys that we like to talk about and focus on. Why Wisconsin Lutheran College? Why that path? I assume you were looking at other places several years ago now, obviously, but kind of tell folks your journey here.
Yeah, so I didn't really for sure know I wanted to play football. So I went on a couple visits in the Florida area and where I'm from, smaller schools. kind of had the opportunity to maybe go there. Didn't really like the vibe of the school. So I was originally going to just go to, one of the bigger schools, be a normal student in Florida.
Like which one? What were you looking
Florida
at?
Atlantic was my main.
FAU. Yep.
That was my main. That was my number one pick at the time. Started talking to Coach Foss and built a really strong relationship with him. Came up on a visit. Something clicked when I came here. Just talking to people, just the vibe. And went back home, talked to the family, just thought about it, prayed about it, and that was my decision. So,
who has been one or two of your biggest influences in your football career as you have worked your way through high school and now here as a fourth-year student and player at WLC? Who is a big impact or two in your life, would you say?
Say overall, probably my dad. He played ball too, was a coach. So growing up, I was always going to his practices, games, and just being with him throughout that really kind of shaped me into who I was, just watching how he carried himself through that. And then also when I came up here to WLC, Coach Dono, always been by my side, just helped me a lot, just from my freshman year till now. I've grown so much, and he's been a huge part of that. So.
What type of relationship, coach-player relationship, do you and defensive coordinator Steve Donovan have?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about anything together, whether it's football, whether it's not. It doesn't matter what it is. And he'll be honest with me, I'll be honest with him. It's just really just a true, genuine relationship we have.
Well, speaking of connections and relationships, for those of you who are watching last week, and even though our halftime show was like 5 minutes because we had 1 billion hours worth of delays, if you stuck with us, you saw during one of those delays, we played our interview with Layson Handwerk, a young man that you've known, also from Merritt Island, going all the way back to your early high school days. And we talked about, also a linebacker, we talked about the relationship, the friendship that you guys have, the connection you have on and off the field. He said, when I asked him, I go, okay, all right, Layson, how do you and Nevad complement each other? He says, he's a solid tackler. Saying Layson, I am like a loose cannon out there, a little, hair on fire. And then Nevad comes in and kind of cleans things up. Is that fair? How would you describe how you two complement each other, your friendship?
I mean, yeah, I'd say that's fair. It's not too wrong.
Okay.
We've got a special relationship.
Yeah.
Me and Layson, we know.
How would you describe it? There's got to be some you don't have to necessarily communicate. You guys just know nonverbal stuff, right?
We know what each other will do, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I know when he's going, he knows when I'm going. We look at each other. It's like, yeah, we just nod our head. We know what's going on. We'll butt heads every now and often, but it's like brothers. Come on.
Yep.
Like, everyone does it. We've lived with each other for the last 4 years. It's been really cool though. Just overall, see how far we've come. Like, if I look back to our high school years, sophomore year, barely knew him. We weren't really friends at first, to be honest. And football kind of brought us together. But looking back then and like saying, "Oh, we're gonna be where we are now," that's crazy to think about. Like,
it's God's hand.
Never would have thought that would have happened. So.
You're also a captain. What type of leader are you? What type of captain are you?
I try to stay positive all the time. That's kind of my main thing. Just keep your head up no matter what. If you make a bad play, flush it, move on to the next one. Stuff's going to happen. Everyone makes plays. Everyone messes up, makes mistakes. Move on, learn from it, and then also just lead by example too. I'm not I try to be more vocal than I have been in the past.
Sure.
But just lead by example, do the right thing.
You're a graduate student here at WLC, so you're balancing a lot right now with football and grad school and the sports management program. What would you like to do with that master's degree in sports management?
Yeah, I'm looking more into like the administration side of things, sure. Maybe like athletic directing, just kind of in that realm. So,
like college AD, high school AD, or
probably more college level.
Sure.
So
sure. What do you think is the best quality you have that is going to make you a good AD one day, perhaps?
Probably adaptability.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that kind of just go on that you never expect really, and you have to be able to adapt on the fly and kind of just make decisions.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected.
Right.
On the field and off. Last thing before we wrap up, we're spending a little halftime time with Nathan Nevad. Where have you grown the most we were talking about back in the day, high school, but just from your first year here, from your first day on campus at Wisconsin Lutheran, where do you think you've grown the most?
This might be a little different, but I'm going to say confidence. I came in having like no confidence in myself, I'm going to be honest. Like, never thought I'd be on the field. I was kind of just here, just for the ride. and Coach Donald's helped me a lot with that. But I've gained a lot of confidence in myself, so I'd say.
That's outstanding. You can see it. You can see it on the field. You can see it off the field. Nate, all the best. Appreciate your time.
Yes,
and one of the leaders for the Warriors, Nate Nevad. Stick with us. More of our halftime show as we continue after this timeout.
When it comes to electrical work for your home, don't settle for fine. You deserve the best with Best Electric. From replacing an outlet to large-scale renovations and everything in between, there's no job too big or too small. And Best Electric offers upfront estimates and financing options. We're a family business that's been taking care of your family for over 50 years. Mention this ad and receive a complimentary electrical safety inspection with any service call. So don't settle for fine. Connect with the best. Best Electric.
We celebrate the athletes, the buzzer beaters, the record breakers, the wins. Now, it's time to celebrate the people behind it all. The advice givers, the community shapers, the game changers, the life changers. It's time to celebrate our coaches. Join all of us at BSN Sports and show your coach some love by sharing their story with #ThankYouCoach.
Back at Robbie Stadium, where Wisconsin Lutheran leads Concordia Chicago by a score of 21-0. A lot has gone very right for the home team here this afternoon. Both sides of the ball. We put together this little highlight package, Bob, and it's tough pickings because of how many highlights there were.
Yeah, and highlights on both sides of the ball. You start off with that after the pooch punt, pinning him deep and almost getting the safety, and then cashing in. How big was it to make that defense, the offense, complementary there? And this has been the pressure on Bosch all day long. They have forced him into making some bad decisions and going through his reads quicker than he would normally like. And then here's the biggest play. McKinney out of the backfield, untouched and in for the touchdown from 63 yards out. That was a thing of beauty. And again, watch the pressure coming in. Bosch thinks he has time, thinks he has a man over the middle. He doesn't, because it's intercepted by McFadden instead. And again, pick number 2 because of the pressure. So up the middle, Bosch is being forced to make those decisions quicker. And then Hyde just goes in before halftime with his second TD run to make it 21-0. Yeah, game plan being executed on both sides of the football. You heard Eric Tresky saying, I haven't enjoyed the defense because I'm too busy with the offense. When he looks back at this first half, defensively, he's going to love what he sees.
2 picks, 2 sacks, no points allowed. And on the other end of the spectrum, the Tresky side of the ball, as it were, he was also their offensive coordinator. 21 points, and Tywin McKinney poised to put together one of his best collegiate games of his career for Wisconsin Lutheran College, a team trying to win for the first time this year. They feel like they've been close, and they have been close. A couple breaks one way or the other. Maybe they're sitting 3-0, but reality is what it is, and they're looking to reset and move to 1-1 in the NAC if they can finish off CUC here this afternoon for the Concordia Chicago Cougars, trying to go 1-1 in the NAC themselves and improve to 3-1 overall. Beautiful day for football. Not a cloud in the sky when we started. Still no clouds up there now as we played 30 minutes. We'll look at some of the most important statistics through 30 minutes when we come back to historic Robbie Stadium. Stick with us.
The world is changing in powerful ways. You deserve an education that helps you meet the moment. Wisconsin Lutheran College. An academic and faith experience embedded in a close-knit community that activates your potential. Preparing you for life's critical moments so you can step into your unique purpose as a bold Christian leader. Take the first step at wlc.edu/purpose.
21-0 is our score, with Wisconsin Lutheran leading Concordia Chicago alongside Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame broadcaster Bob Brainerd. I am merely Scott Warris. Okay, Bob, let's go through some of these numbers here. First for Wisconsin Lutheran, 178 total yards on 31 plays, 87 in the air, 91 on the ground. It's been a pretty good split.
Yeah, it has. Also, Scott, I'll toss it out. 10 first downs to just 4 for the Cougars. That's big because you're sustaining drives once this offense has the football. They're not going 3 and out. They're sustaining drives. They're moving the football. And when they get in the red zone this season, they have been good at cashing in, and that's big. You're not settling for field goals or, even worse, a missed field goal opportunity. You are getting points, and that's been critical. Once you move the football, what can we do with it once we're inside the 20?
To that red zone point, Warriors have now played 10 quarters of football here at home, and they are 7 out of 7 in red zone scoring opportunities. Meanwhile, Concordia Chicago, just 63 total yards with 48 on the ground, 15 through the air, 2 takeaways belonging to Wisconsin Lutheran secondary, Elke and McFadden, with interceptions of the CUC quarterback Colton Bosch in that first half. Warriors' leading rusher is Liam Hydris, 45 on the ground, a couple of scores. Tywin McKinney, 2 catches, 74 yards, including a touchdown for McKinney. We should mention Nate Griffith, his 2 longest passes of his career, coming against Concordia Chicago. His freshman year, a 68-yarder in 2022, and a 63-yarder here today now as a senior for Wisconsin Lutheran College. CUC, Jerron Brown has been bottled up, 10 carries for just 34 yards. Bosch, 2 out of 8. Those 2 picks, as we say, and nobody with more than a catch for Concordia Chicago, as Wisconsin Lutheran leads it 21-0 over CUC. And we'll step aside. Our final timeout. We'll come back. We're going to run down the out-of-town scoreboard. There are some interesting scores coming across the ledger here in the NAC. And we'll have the second half kickoff as we continue People's State Bank coverage of Warriors football, presented by Legacy Insurance Group.
Drive, discipline, passion, determination, focus, sacrifice, effort. The years on the football field have given me more than just wins. They've taught me values that are now at the heart of Legacy Insurance Group. At Legacy Insurance, dedication, hard work, and honor become real protection for families and businesses across Wisconsin. Legacy Insurance Group, driven to protect your future.
Banking and credit go hand in hand. So why are most bank and credit management apps separate? They don't have to be when you choose the People's State Bank app with built-in My Credit Manager. One app gives you total financial control to build your savings, check balances, even work on raising that credit score. So when it comes to banking and credit, choose the app that does it all. Visit bankpeoples.com today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Warriors charging back out of the locker room here, a couple minutes away from starting the second half. 21-0, Wisconsin Lutheran has the lead. Of note, the other 2 games going on right now in the NAC includes Lakeland visiting Rockford, and the Lakeland Muskies, who are sitting at, well, this is their first conference game of the year. They had a bye last week. Anyway, they're up 14-0 at 0-1 Rockford. Benedictine last week went down to Aurora and broke Aurora's 46-game conference winning streak, getting a big stop there as time expired. Today, they're in Mequon, and they are tied 7 apiece with Concordia, Wisconsin. A battle there between the Falcons and the Eagles. Meanwhile, under the lights, 6 o'clock Central, Aurora looking to bounce back on the road at Eureka. St. Norbert is on the bye this week. Benedictine, Concordia, Wisconsin, Eureka, St. Norbert, all 1-0. Concordia, Chicago, Aurora, Rockford, and Wisconsin Lutheran at 0-1. And as I said, Lakeland playing their first conference game. Let's check in. Quick halftime report. Wayne Chevy.
I talked to Coach Chase Hankins briefly. I asked him what they needed to do here in the second half. He goes, score more points, and then walked away. Didn't have much more to say. So I did grab Coach Steve Donovan, and I said, what did you like about your defense? He said, we're flying around the ball. We're getting things done. We're filling the gaps. He goes, I would love a little more defensive line personnel, but obviously they've been able to overcome all of those issues. We'll see if they can keep it going here in the second half. Obviously, as you guys have mentioned, everything has been going well, both directions for both the offense and the defense. Can they sustain it in the second half? Bob, it looks like we have been behaving ourselves. Scott, you better be ready for the second half.
Yeah, there's another half to go, Warris. Be on your toes.
30 down, 30 to go. Warriors have given us a good one. No time for hijinks when the Warriors are playing that well. Best half of football by far.
Oh, yeah.
This season.
Oh, yeah. And to Wayne's point, talking with Coach Donovan, I think what you're seeing is you have to kind of piecemeal this defensive line up front with all the injuries. Mm-hmm. But what they're doing is they're getting a lot of bodies into that backfield quickly, not just trying to lean on one or two guys to say, hey, you need to get there. You need to apply the pressure. No, you all need to apply the pressure. And when they come in en masse, you're seeing a lot of black shirts in that backfield. You mentioned Brown not able to get any traction in the first half. This guy is fourth in the conference in rushing. He averages over 108 yards per game on the ground, and they haven't gotten close enough to the end zone to give him an opportunity to try to punch it in too. So that's been key, keeping Brown bottled up.
A happy Eric Kresge, but needs 30 minutes more, and then he can celebrate the rest of the weekend. There's something to be said in college athletics, and for that matter, all sports, for the work, the time, the effort you put in to enjoy the validation with the victory. I mean, you can have all the pleasantries you want, but if you don't get that W at the end of the day, any compliments are merely bittersweet.
That's why last week was so disheartening for this Warriors squad, because you were here on this football field forever dealing with Mother Nature, and then to not get the W, you wanted to see if this team could get over the hangover of that. They sure have.
Cougars will get the opening kickoff. Josiah Lugo on the return for CUC, and their first drive of the second half will begin out across the 25.
I think that was Patrick Manning Davis Jr. with he's from Texas, Scott, so that little rodeo move there to bring him down.
Tell you what, that's one of the things we've talked about, what I like to call the geographical diversity. This roster has about 25 states represented, the most geographically diverse roster Warriors football has ever had. They got a pipeline to Merritt Island, Florida. They got a pipeline to Texas as well, and he's one of them. Okay, 1st and 10 now for Concordia, Chicago. And their junior quarterback, Colton Bosch, who was bottled up in the first half. So was this guy, Jerron Brown, trying to get something going early, and it looks like he has. A big run for Brown, his best of the day, out to the midfield stripe. In fact, he takes it to the 49 of Wisconsin Lutheran. That's about a 23-yard carry on the Cougars' first play from scrimmage. McFadden on the tackle.
Yeah, and the sideline for the Cougars, loving it. They're making a lot of racket over there because they've been waiting for 6 to pop one like this. Exactly what they needed coming out of the locker room.
He only had 29 rushing yards in the first half total. There's a Best Electric Service first down. About 4 more.
Yeah, the game plan here for Concordia, they're not going to try to get all 21 back right away. They want to just keep spoon-feeding number 6. And on the carry there for the first time today, that's Blake Henson, listed as a wide receiver, Scott.
Spelling Brown, Henson, not going to get it. Bosch is going to keep it, and he's going to be taken down. Not to be denied for the Warriors was Layson handwork. It's tough to fool number 9 for the Warriors. He was not.
Yeah, watch him not buying that and just getting low on the quarterback. Great technique on the tackle there to just go after number 4. He doesn't have blazing speed, so you had time to close in on him.
Cougars only rushed for 48 yards in that first half, trying to assert themselves on the ground here early on a 3rd and 3. Penalty flag comes in, throw across the middle, deflected and picked off. That's Sam Elke, his second interception of this game. We'll see if it stands with the penalty flag at the snap. And Elke's return out near the 37-yard line.
And Bosch took a hit, Scott, and he was slow to get up, and he is slow walking to the sideline, waiting on the call on the hanky.
Haven't heard a lot from John Doden today, our head referee, but we will in a moment. Only one penalty called in the first half, and that was against Concordia Chicago. Warrior defense is coming to the near sidelines. Let's listen in to Doden.
Offsides. Offense. Number 74, lined up in the neutral zone. Has penalties. Is declined. First down.
Well, how about that? Elke's going to have his second pick, his third in 2 weeks, and the Warriors their third takeaway. Let's check in with Wayne Chevy. He's got a special guest after that special moment for the Warriors. Wayne?
We're celebrating Heroes Day here at WLC. Thankful for our firemen and for our policemen. We had a Battle of the Badges earlier today. I'm here with Captain Phil Cockroft from the Milwaukee Fire Department. They've got some things going on here at the game, but really, this is an encouragement for some recruitment efforts, right?
Yeah, currently the Milwaukee Fire Department, we're celebrating 150 years of service to the community this year. I had to throw that out there. But we're also hiring right now for our apprenticeship program. It's for 17 to 19-year-olds. It's our Fire Cadet program. Applications are currently open online, and we're doing applications here at the game today.
Well, thank you for all of your service, encouragement to all of us. Be a hero. Take care of your people around you and love them up. Thank you for your service. God bless you. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Captain. Yeah, it was great. About 10 o'clock this morning, they had a flag football game between members of the Milwaukee Police Department and Milwaukee Fire Department as we look back at this Sam Elke interception.
Yeah, tip drill to himself. Usually you tip it to a teammate, but Elke wasn't having it.
Well, during that replay, Wayne, they've called it back. I didn't get the call. I didn't hear it. So the offside penalty makes it a dead ball penalty.
Ball, yes. Oh, tough break for the Warriors, but the right call. Yeah, the call was offsides offense, which you don't see a whole lot. And technically, you heard Doden say lined up in the neutral zone. So somebody wasn't lined up. So as soon as they snapped it and he didn't get back, play's over.
Should have been stopped right then and there.
Yeah, to the chagrin of the Warriors and their defense. Almost had pick number 3.
It's kind of a surprising mistake, quite candidly, to allow it unfold as long as it did. Anyway, Concordia Chicago, 3rd and 7 now. And Bosch steps up, has some room, lowers his shoulder into Elke, and he takes it down to the 35. It's a gain of 13. Well, Elke got the interception ripped away from him, so he took out some of his frustration on the quarterback.
And Bosch is down again, Scott. Remember, he got hit on that last play that didn't count. But because of the delay making the call, he was able to kind of shake the cobwebs. But on the very next play, because he doesn't go down, he doesn't slide. And he had the first down by plenty. And now Bosch, he took a lick, probably even harder than the one that was in the backfield on the play prior.
The backup is listed as Jacob Redman, a senior from Bishop, California. Sam Elke, one of the hardest hitting Warriors at the safety position, and now Bosch gets up, but still scary. Like you said, he was shaken up on that prior play. We had that delay during the penalty conference and correction, as it were. He obviously felt okay. He's shaken up. Good to see him able to jog off under his own power.
Yeah, because of that delay, Scott, it bought him some time, and I should think he was able to tell the coaches, I'm good to go. But after this last hit, he's not good to go, at least not for one play.
And so, as I said, it's Jacob Redman, the senior quarterback out of Bishop, California. Redman has played in 3 games. He's 4 of 8 in the passing department. And Redman's going to keep it on his first play of the day, busting it down the left sidelines. A penalty flag is thrown as Redman calls his own number with a big gainer, but will check the flag.
And you can kind of tell already that Redman, he's a run-pass option guy. And he called his own number, as you said, knowing exactly where he wanted to go. We'll see if it stands or not. Might be holding on that left edge that helped spring him free.
Holding on the offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot foul. First down.
And this penalty will stand this time. So he still gets a gain out of the play, coming off the pines and making his presence felt. And now you have to be aware of what number 1 brings to the table here, Scott. Different animal than Bosch, the QB.
First down anyway, brought to you by Best Electric. Service on the end around, looking for Lawson, and Lawson is pinned for a big loss. Nathan Prolly ripping down the ball carrier, Kevon Lawson.
And that is the adjustment of the defense to recognize, hey, different quarterback in there, right? He's going read option and understanding that 0 is going to be back in the playbook all of a sudden. So now you can sit back if you're the secondary, probably not going to put it up as long as 1's in the backfield. They're going to be looking to do all of this back and forth, little jet sweep action.
21-0, Warriors have the lead. 11:27 and counting in the third quarter. Low snap, Redmond has some time, scanning, tucking, running, and being shoved out of bounds. Chris Korb on the push out. Yeah, Redmond offers a little dynamic nature that the starter Colton Bosch doesn't necessarily offer.
Yeah, and while he's looking to throw here, Scott, I don't know that this is what he wanted to do. He's trying to pull the secondary in to find somebody that's open.
Third down and about 6 here.
But I think Redmond is the type of QB that he's thinking run first whenever he handles the football, or give it to the guy that's to his left.
From just outside the 25-yard line, the ball's on the turf. It's picked up by Jerron Brown. He rescues his offense and then pushes forward for a gain of 1 or 2, and it'll bring 4th and about 4. Prolly, again, having a good stretch of this third quarter with 10:30 to go in the frame, and the Warriors leading 21-0.
Ball's on the rug. And from the backside, it gives time for Prolly to get in there.
4th down and 4. First 4th down attempt in the ball game, either side. Bosch back in at quarterback, number 4, with Brown now moving to his left. We approach 10 minutes to go in the third. Brown straight ahead, picks up the first down. Hard yards for Jerron Brown down to the 15. He got 8, close to 9. Martin on the stop, the senior for Wisconsin Lutheran.
Well, that takes some big body parts, right? to make this call 21-0, and you think you need a big strike here. You just need the first down, but still to call a run there and then to get it, that does take some guts.
Ezekiel Peterson, the left guard, had to quickly sprint off for CUC. Wykeer Jones has to sprint on. 10 seconds left on the play clock. A Best Electric service first down for Concordia Chicago. 9:30 left in the third. And Brown darting it left side. Now cuts it between the hash marks and carries Warrior defenders to the 5. Another Best Electric service first down for CUC. They're set up in a goal-to-go situation for the first time.
Again, this is a recording, right? Guys first in the league with 5 rushing TDs coming into the contest. When they get into the red zone, they're going to feed him, spoon feed him.
Cougars down 3 scores. The snap is in the turf, and Bosch fell on it. That's the second time in the last few plays we have seen a ball on the turf, a fumble, but Concordia has fallen on top of it again.
Yeah, the operation for the Cougars is not clean at the moment. Doesn't matter who's in there at QB. And that's kind of on Bosch, too. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't on the turf. He just kind of tried to one-hand it, and then it got a little slippery.
All red zone trip sponsored by Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack agent representing Auto Owners Insurance. Second down and goal from the 9-yard line. 8:20 left in the third. Brown to the edge. No, sir. Korb, the first man there, slowed him up. Elke and Handwork finished him off, and Brown a little slow to get up.
Man, that's really great work of staying home with your assigned guys as Brown, Gimpy.
And they'll stop the clock because of it with 8:02 to go in the third quarter.
But you had Brown going one way, Scott, and then Lawson going the other way, and that's just assignment football. Okay, I've got 0, you've got 6. Stay with them. Don't crisscross. That's what the Cougars were trying to get, was the crisscross, but Warriors weren't buying it.
3rd and goal from the 11. Warrior defense pitching the shutout. 21-0 Wisconsin Lutheran. Cougars looking for points here after a sustained drive. Bosch blitzed across the middle in traffic. Penalty flag comes in on 3rd and goal from the 11. And remember, if it happened in the end zone, the ball is placed at the 2.
Was it contact on Lawson before he got to the end zone, or was it the hit afterwards? It was a little bit high on 0. He took a smack.
This is poised to be the first Warriors penalty of the game, and 7:40 to play in the third.
Pass interference. Defense, number 25. The ball will be placed as spot the foul. Automatic. First down.
Kason McFadden, who has an interception on his day, picks up the penalty there. 1st and goal at the 2. Concordia, Chicago. Trying to get on the board here in the third. Out of time left, over halfway through this third. This is Henson. Remember, Brown got knocked out on the last play. He was slow to come off, and so Henson, the ball carrier, with another penalty flag on the play. Or was it? No, it wasn't. It was actually, well, it was. I saw a flag out there, and now Henson just returned the flag to one of the referees. Maybe he just fell out of his pocket, Bob.
Happens.
Nevad on the stop for the Warriors. 2nd down and goal from the 2. Henson straight ahead, stood up near the line and stopped shy. Maybe about the half-yard line or so. Warriors defense is not going to make this easy on Concordia if they are indeed going to score.
I got to think Bosch is going to call his own number here because he's given Henson, the backup running back, 2 opportunities to punch it in. I think the QB, a la Philadelphia Eagles here, Scott, going to take it himself.
The Cougar push, the Cougar shove. Call it what you will. It's not a touchdown. That was 3rd down, and now it's going to be 4th and goal, Bob.
That did not look like the Philadelphia Eagles version at all.
Well, the beginning of it did.
And then it ended. But good job by the Warriors for recognizing what was coming and getting all the bodies for the attempted quarterback sneak. And now what do? Again, it's still Henson in the backfield with Bosch.
It's 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. 21-0 Warriors have the lead. Cougars need points. Henson deployed. Bosch to throw. It's in and out of the hands of the Warrior, Kason McFadden. It's a turnover on downs, and Wisconsin Lutheran's defense, as stellar as it has been all day, I don't know if they've been any better than that showing right there on a goal-to-go situation, turning aside the Cougars on 4 straight plays.
Yeah, again, making Bosch uncomfortable in the pocket, has to throw it quickly. Best man that had a shot at it was 25, right? So Bosch, you have to go to the air, again, because your weapon in the red zone, your weapon on a goal-to-goal situation, Brown, is on the sidelines. Kept waiting for him to come back in, but he couldn't in that series once they got close. And it was Henson a couple times, and then Bosch on the sneak, not able to punch it in.
.5:57 to go in the third. Warriors take over, 21-0. They have the lead. Let's see if they can get a little room with which to work as Nate Griffith calls his own number and scampers out near the 20. Longest run for Griff today, nearly 19 yards. They're going to give him the 20. A Best Electric service first down from about 7 yards deep in the end zone.
Yeah, and this was the play that was called, right? It was give us some room, give us some breathing room to operate so we're not standing in our own end zone. You got some room and then some on that call.
Espinoza on the stop. What a run for Griffith. Boy, he has been selectively effective in the run game himself. Hygis breaking the initial tackle and then taking Cougars out across the 30-yard line. There it is. Vintage Liam Hygis.
And Liam Scott, he's not 100%. He's banged up, but he doesn't play like it. That's why you like the ticker on this kid, because he doesn't baby his injuries, right? He still runs hard. And now that they'll give him some plays off, and we've seen McKinney come in and spell him and able to give Liam some time to regroup. But, boy, he looks fresh again.
1st and 10 at the 32. Carson Kohler is fresh. First down for Carson Kohler to the 46 on a gain of 14. Another Best Electric Service first down. Damian Givens Jr. tackled him, and a Cougar is down.
Now you got a three-pronged attack in this backfield, right? Make it 4, because when it's not number 20, you saw Hyde just what he did. You've seen what McKinney, the damage he's done today. And let's include your quarterback. I mean, Nate Griffith is like another running back in there today, got him the room to get him out of the end zone. So if you're the Cougars defense, you're looking there saying, which of these 4 dudes are going to gash us on the ground? Pick and choose.
4:40 clock stop, third quarter, 21-0 Warriors. Whether business or pleasure brings you to the Milwaukee area, Sonesta Milwaukee West Wauwatosa offers an experience for all. The hotel is just minutes from the interstate, a quick drive from downtown, and provides an abundance of complimentary parking. Tasteful guest rooms provide a home away from home. Over 6,000 square feet of meeting space are ready to be transformed for your unique gathering. Staying at Sonesta means a short jaunt to American Family Field, Milwaukee County Zoo, State Fair Park, even historic Robbie Stadium itself. Sonesta Milwaukee West Wauwatosa, the home of the Warriors' annual Hall of Fame ceremony. Another 1st and 10 upcoming, and Tywin McKinney with 101 all-purpose yards in both receiving and rushing in the first half is out there for his first snap of the second half, and McKinney will get it. Stood up at the line. That's a heck of a job just to get back to the line of scrimmage, because that looked like a 2-yard loss, and McKinney able to erase the negative play. May have actually got a half a yard. Espinoza, another solid tackle for the Cougars.
Yeah, it still took 4 Cougars to claw at McKinney to bring him down. So strong of a runner he is.
Had a 63-yard touchdown reception, did McKinney, in that first half. That came in the second quarter. His longest catch in his junior season, second longest completion in the career of Nate Griffith. Now Kohler deployed. Griffith to throw. He's got a man. Colin Amack, the senior out of Menominee Falls, with his first reception to the 30-yard line. A 23-yard reception by the veteran Aiden Hatchett on coverage. Another Best Electric Service first down.
I just like the decisions that Nate Griffith is making this afternoon. And he's deciding that there is some openings. There's some creases in the middle of this defense. We've seen Drew Mears connect with his QB there a couple times. So that's what the defense is giving you. Carve it up. You don't need the big ball, but that's a big enough ball to get you inside the 30. And again, decision-making by Griffith is perfect.
Another 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Out of the backfield, Kohler, and a beautiful tackle, somersaulting Kohler. That coming from Hagen Washer. We have called his name a number of times. He's a good rookie out of Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Yeah, Washer recognizing, and Warriors have run this play a few times. McKinney has been able to escape, and Washer says, I've seen it before, fellas, not this time.
As hard as Kohler and Hygis and McKinney run, that's the best way to bring them down. Take them out at the knees, undercut them. Loss of 4 as we approach 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Neither team has scored in this frame. Low snap. Pressure now, and Nate Griffith is sacked. Austin Jackson, the defensive lineman, first to get there. He was joined by others.
And, Scott, I actually like this decision by Nate as well. Didn't throw a lame duck football when the pressure was coming that might resolve in an interception right downfield. He simply said, I'm going to take the sack, not cause a turnover with something where you're going to regret it later on. Although now you're up against it here on 3rd and 22.
Give credit to Austin Lambaz as well on that sack. Okay, 3rd and 22 with 90 seconds to go, and Griffith calls his own number, gets to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more. So 4th down here, kind of a tricky spot on the field. Of course, you have a great punter in Drew Mears.
That's what they're thinking, right? I mean, that's why you ran your quarterback. Just get what you can and let Drew come out and do his thing. We talked about it earlier, Scott. Inside the 20-yard line, Drew Mears has put opponents there 8 times this year. So he's not just a guy with a strong leg. He's a great directional kicker. Let's see if he can dump it inside the 10, maybe the 5 this time once again.
Averaging 44 on the season. How about 46 per punt today? Hits at the 10. It hits off the Cougar. That is number 0, Kevon Lawson. And CUC is very fortunate to keep this possession. That one hit off the leg of Lawson, tapping himself on the chest, obviously realizing the mistake he made.
Lawson wanted no part of it, but you got to get out of the way, young man.
When it hits you in the leg, you better want a part of it because it's a live ball. So 37 seconds remaining here in this third quarter. And the Warriors defense, who stopped Concordia Chicago on 1st and goal on 4 straight downs the last time we saw them, once again finds the offense of CUC inside the 10 on the other end of the field. However, Bosch clears the backfield. And timeout taken by Concordia Chicago, with Wisconsin Lutheran leading this thing 21-0.
How deflating is it, Scott, for the Cougars to finally, they got their running game going, and then their quarterback gets knocked out, albeit on a running play, of course. But then backup quarterback comes in, continues the run game, and they get it inside the 5-yard line. But how deflating to get it down that far, get it into the red zone for the first time today, and then not come away with any points. It was a big stop for the Warriors to get that. But if you're the Cougars now, you squelched that opportunity to get some points on the board here in the third quarter, and here you are pinned with another long mission to get it downfield again.
.37 seconds left in the third. 21-0, the Warriors have the lead. First timeout burned by Concordia Chicago in this second half. And Bosch intercepted. This is Nevad, a pick 6 for the veteran from Merritt Island. What a day for the D. Sit Mean Sit Dog Training sponsors every touchdown. Our halftime guest, Nathan Nevad, a pick 6.
They called a timeout to make sure they had the proper personnel and make sure the play was being run correctly. Was number 10 in the huddle on the sideline with him? It's like he knew it. He jumped the route almost like he knew it was coming because that was right into his breadbasket.
Nikolai Amaya Overchuk to make it 28-0. And he does. They have checked a lot of boxes on both sides of the ball. And now they lead by 4 scores.
Trying to get it out. Just a little quick hitch there, Scott. You're trying to get it into the hands of Wesley Jackson, your talented tight end, and you're trying to get him the football, see if he can do some damage after that. And the fact that he's lined up all the way out there, your tight ends in a wide receiver spot, Warriors weren't having it.
Warriors had 1 takeaway through the first 2 games of the season. They now have 7 takeaways in the last 7 quarters. And remember, today they had an Elke. He's got 1 today, too.
Almost
Elke,
had 2.
Yeah, he had 1 taken away. Otherwise, Sam, number 30 right there, would have had a second one. On a penalty, had it taken away.
Well, I go back to my point in the first half, Scott. When the defense is doing what they're doing today, when they're making these special plays, and the pick 6, that's the most special. But when you're doing that, applying the pressure, keeping them out of the end zone, the offense can be more comfortable. They don't feel that pressure like they have to do something special each time they get the football.
Warriors trying to beat Concordia Chicago for the 4th consecutive time and the 11th time in the last 12 years. Camps on the return. Dunn Sporting Goods sponsors our kickoffs, as always. And if you're the defense, you may be a little worn down, but the way you're playing, you're still feeling energized. You're playing off the adrenaline. You're playing off the, quite frankly, the blood in the water. I want to pick. It's going to be my turn now, you're thinking. And Steve Donovan, the defensive coordinator, the veteran DC for Wisconsin Lutheran, he's schemed up a gem, and his players have played themselves into a gem with 25 seconds left in this third quarter. Another low snap. This is Redmond in at quarterback. He's been effective with his feet, and he runs for a first down. Looked like a broken play to the right, reversed course, picked up 11. Vinton Martin shoved him out.
I think if you're the Cougars, it can't hurt to have a change of pace quarterback. And Bosch, he's been beat up. He's gone in the teeth of the defense a few times, gotten really banged around. You see Brown's back in there as well, but at this point, you're down 28 going to the fourth quarter. That's a lot of ground to make up.
28-0. Wisconsin Lutheran in the lead. 15 to play. We're back in a moment on My 24.
At People's State Bank, the word of the day is nest egg. Okay, that's 2 words, but it shows how fast things add up when you deposit your money with us. From our Super Saver account that pays competitive interest to interest-bearing checking and CDs, the means to help you grow your savings is all here, along with perks like surcharge-free ATMs, 24/7 digital banking, and a handy, secure app that lets you bank right from your phone. Visit bankpeoples.com and get started today.
I've been playing this game since I was 6 years old. I'm grateful for every coach, teammate, and supporter who invested in me. From the first snap to now my final season in college, football taught me how to work hard, serve others, and the importance of protecting what matters. These lessons don't end on the field. They're the foundation of how I serve my clients today. As your trusted independent insurance advisor, I'm committed to providing great coverage, fair pricing, and service you can count on.
First play of our fourth quarter, 28-0. Warriors.
Special plays, and the pick six, that's the most special. But when you're doing that, applying the pressure, keeping them out of the end zone, the offense can be more comfortable. They don't feel that pressure like they have to do something special each time they get the football.
Let's go down to Wayne to beat Concordia Chicago.
About the goal line stand that took place before, but it was an 8-minute drive. There were a lot of plays, and he's like, we got to clean things up. We're not filling the gaps. We're not doing the things. We're not doing the small things.
Into Warriors territory.
They get the stop, and then on the first play of that next drive, what do? Nevad gets the touchdown.
Ball at the 49-yard line.
Whatever he said,
first and 10 Cougars.
Guys.
Wayne, thank you. First and 10. Best Electric Service. First down. Redmond again at quarterback. Throws on the run. Far sidelines incomplete. Had a couple of guys down there, including Jaden Taylor, Jackson Martinez as well. Namutenda over there defensively, number 2 for the Warriors.
By the way, whatever Wayne is using for SPF, it's doing the job. I don't see any burning going on down there, and I was concerned because he didn't come out with the big hat or the floppy hat. It's a broiler down there in the field.
Second down and 10. From the 49. Taylor in motion. Now a little misdirection play for Blake Henson out of the backfield. He's been the one that has spelled Jerron Brown in instances today to the 45. Nevad had the pick 6 on the last defensive stand. Gets a good old-fashioned tackle here.
And now no matter who the quarterback is for the Cougars at this stage of the football game, you got the yips, right? Throwing into this coverage defensively because they have picked you off. One was taken off the board because of the offsides. But you're double thinking yourself, saying, I don't know if I want to go deep with any balls over the middle.
Redmond in trouble. Redmond spun down. Chris Korb. He was the first one there. Nathan Prolly again in the backfield. Each guy might get a half a sack for this one, but I think it was Korb, initially, and then Prolly over the top. Good 1-2 punch, and another sack for the defense.
Yeah, and the defensive line up front, if you're not able to get in there and get the sack, then just get the push. Get enough pressure to slow things down so your backers like Korb can come on the backside and get that added pressure and the sack on top of it.
Punt is away from Dennis Vanderplow. Martin calls for the fair catch at the 20-yard line.
Scott, defensively, it's really been, for the Warriors, the sum of the parts, right? It's not just one guy. You know, the picks came because of the pressure up front. And you saw that last sack. It's because the defense is getting initial pressure up front, so now your linebackers can pin their ears back and get in there. Really, the unit defensively is working together, not just leaning on one or two guys. It's been all 11.
Here's McKinney. Over 100 yards of combined yards in the first half for Tywin McKinney. Short gain of a couple with 12:25 left. And now from the Warriors' perspective, as Espinoza on the tackle and Tywin jogs off. From the Warriors' perspective, you can ground out a couple of first downs here. You get points, great, but you're in no hurry. That clock is your friend. 12:08 away from getting a win, their first of the season. Moving to 1-1 in the NAC. Benedictine has pulled ahead of Concordia, Wisconsin, 13-7 in the third. Griffith is going to keep it this time, and he takes a hit at the line of scrimmage, and Griffith is still down. This is now both starting quarterbacks that have taken a hit that have led them to bring the training staff out, and this is obviously of concern as Griffith's slow and still down.
Yeah, again, both quarterbacks, neither one of them, with starting quarterbacks, neither one of them shy to go and take a hit. You love that about your quarterback, about your leader, but at times you got to be smart as well to not try to fight for extra yards and live to get back in the huddle there. And
Damian Givens, the freshman defensive back, was the one that hit Nate Griffith, and it looks like they're maybe looking his lower back or so down around the waist as he's rolled over on his side, and his head coach Eric Tresky is out there as well. And there you see the backup. Of course, Quincy Reams was the starting quarterback for the Warriors through their first two games this season. The first starting true freshman quarterback in an opener in over a decade for Wisconsin Lutheran College, and he's going to have to come in for at least one play, if not more. Griffith is still down, and they're still tending to him.
Yeah, and the marching orders for Quincy are going to be, look, take care of the football. As you said, Scott, let's run some clock and stay healthy here. So a lot of things on Quincy's plate when he goes in, but just keep it basic. You don't have to do anything with a 28-0 lead. That's the good thing for your backup QB. You don't have to rally us now. All we need to do is take care of the football, work some clock here in the fourth.
Dunn's Sporting Goods has been the leader in creating custom apparel in the Milwaukee area since 1982. They create T-shirts, team apparel, spirit wear, and more by screen printing, sublimation embroidery, and other innovative ways. This small family business loves to create strong relationships with their customers that keep them coming back year after year. And with in-house screen printing and embroidery, they're able to keep prices low and turnarounds quick. Dunn's Sporting Goods in West Allis, 43 years of creating outstanding apparel. A couple of linemen have been asked to come out and help Griffith, who has now been helped to his feet. Well, between the time and the score, I think there's a really good chance we're not going to see Nate Griffith today, if for no other reason than precautionary and maybe getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. But considering how tentative he looks clearly and being helped off, not putting any pressure on that left leg, and he is in considerable discomfort.
Yeah, now you get the chair pickup from those linemen. So, yeah, you're thinking that's down around the ankle or the leg where he took that low hit. Not a dirty play by any means, just He's trying to give up his body on that quarterback run as he's done all afternoon.
And on a day where so much, if not, you would say everything has gone right for the Warriors, and you're leading 28-0 with 11:41 to play in the final quarter. You see your starting quarterback, your senior captain, being helped off and into the medical tent. It's the last thing that anybody wanted, an injury to anybody. And that's the situation they find themselves, and adversity at the door of the Warriors, even if the scoreboard is in their favor at the moment. Okay, Quincy Reams, who again, starting quarterback for Wisconsin Lutheran in games 1 and 2 this season against St. Scholastic and Buena Vista. He'll give it to Carson Kohler. We'll see a steady diet of the run game, obviously, on 3rd down and 8.
They whistled the play
dead.
And
now they're running it.
Now they run it.
Caden Stroller on the stop, brings up 4th down. Kohler on the carry.
Cougars were thinking that the ball was jarred loose, but he was clearly down by the time it popped out.
Well, the window is still open for Concordia Chicago, but not by much. You're down 4 scores. You've still got over 10.5 minutes to play in this one. A lot has to go right for them as they continue to tend to the Warriors starting quarterback Nate Griffith in the medical tent. Snap to Mears. Drew gets this one away. End over end, and Josiah Lugo makes the catch at the 35 with 10:33 to play in this ball game. Boy, again, I'll repeat myself, so much has gone right, and you get an injury, a serious injury to anybody. In this case, it's your quarterback. It's a tough position. You can kind of feel like the air's been taken out of the stadium, which is crazy considering the scoreboard reads what it does.
What did Eric Tresky tell us as far as his quarterback today in this game? Take the simple play and hit it. We've seen that time and time again. He hasn't tried to be the hero, right? And so that part of the game plan with the QB has been executed. So, yeah, that seems like an unjust reward for doing everything you set out designed by your QB today.
Speaking of quarterbacks again, this is Redmond on in relief of Colton Bosch. He ran the last series. He'll run this one. He'll throw to the right side, coming back and making the catch is Lawson. Spun down by Sam Elke, shy of the 1st down. Good throw that time by Redmond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a guy who has the ilk of being a run-first QB. Empty backfield here. Gives himself a lot of space, a lot of time, and puts it right on Zero's mitts. I would agree with you, Scott. The window is open for this Cougar team, but I think there's a screen door in front of it.
2nd down and 2 for Concordia Chicago. They'll need some big plays, some chunk plays like that one. Here's a toss. This is Lawson on the other side. He's ripped down. He got to the 45.
Somebody lost a cap.
For the Warriors, that was number 26, Malik Gordon, who lost the helmet after handwork make the hit.
Yeah, Malik's right in the middle of all this. Watch, bang, makes the hit, and helmet comes flying off.
Cougars pick up a Best Electric service 1st down at their own 45. Redmond steps up, has time, scanning across the middle. Catch is made by Jackson Martinez. Found a little soft spot there to pick up about 12 yards. A Cougar lineman is down. Martin on the hit for the Warriors in the secondary.
This might be number 77. It is. The big guy. Look at him pass protecting on the left, and he got caught in the wash somewhere. And Cougars going over the middle. They've done that a few times, and they've paid the price with the picks today.
You said it, Bob. We talked about him in the first half. Daniel Banks, sophomore out of Chicago, 2nd team all Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference honoree.
6'3", 355. He is NFL size already, Scott Warris.
9:17 left in the 4th. 28-0. Concern on the Warriors sidelines, though, as Nate Griffith, starting quarterback, knocked out and helped off. on the last offensive possession for Wisconsin Lutheran. Cougars into Warriors territory. Concordia Chicago had first and goal earlier in this half. Warriors denied the end zone. That has been their best scoring opportunity all day. Redmond hit as he throws, and he throws it away. The hit came from Noah Ross. Pressure up the middle from that sophomore out of Woodbury, Minnesota.
Yeah, and Ross just stayed with number one. He just kept backpedaling, or he's going forward as Redmond is backpedaling, and just keeps waiting and waiting and saying, I dare you to throw it in the play of field. He didn't. That was a smart play.
Sorry, Bob. Jaden Smith checks on for Nathan Prawley, Wisconsin Lutheran defense. 2nd down and 10. Under 9 to play in the fourth. A low snap. Redmond picks it up, pitches it. Lawson the catch, and then he goes backwards. I don't know if there's a more sure tackler on the Wisconsin Lutheran roster this year than number 30, Sam Elke, the sophomore out of Jackson and Kettle Moraine Lutheran.
Well, he's only a sophomore, Scott, but he plays like a veteran. That's what Eric Tresky told us earlier this week. And when you make hits like that, that looks like a kid who's been wearing this black and green jersey now for 4 years.
3rd down and 9. Concordia Chicago, 3 out of 11. They've struggled in these situations today. Redmond tosses Lawson's way in space, inside the 40. Broke a tackle and then denied the 35, about 4 yards shy of the first down. They're really trying to involve Kevon Lawson now, realizing his playmaking ability.
Yeah, remember when they went to him, those little jet sweeps, back-to-back plays? Maybe they've gone to 0 too late in this football game. He looks like he can do some damage, but they were leaning on that ground game with Brown early and often in the first half.
4th down, Concordia 1 out of 2 on 4th down. Their last 4th down attempt was at the 1 yard line, and they were denied. 4th down and 3. Redmond calls his own number. He's hit. He's driven back. Nowhere near the first down stripe. Nathan Nevad. A great second half for the captain, the linebacker. He made sure that Redmond would be denied. Warriors deny on 4th again.
And I think everybody in Robbie Stadium knew number 1 was going to call his own number, right? Including Nevad.
Untouched.
Untouched. Because you spread everybody out below. Okay, you want to run a jet sweep. You want to hand it off. You got to go a long way to get those yardage. And so that was all number 1. They read it. They diagnosed it. They got the stop.
Wayne Chevy, what do you have?
Daniel, he said, due to the score, I mean, it makes no sense to put Griffin back in. Other people from the backfield, though, Liam Hygis on the exercise bike trying to stay loose as well. So banged up. It's probably good timing right now for the bye coming up next week.
That's a good point.
Oh,
Warriors
absolutely.
home last week, home this week, bye next week, home after that. So they're in town for a full month. Quincy Reams, who has some special capabilities in years to come, especially with his feet. Kind of a potential as he learns the passing element of college football, obviously, and improves there. He could be a real dynamic weapon. We've talked about that. And he's forced into duty now. 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground with Tywin McKinney. He'll lean across the 40, near the 41 for a gain of a couple. Caden Strohr on the tackle.
Quincy, even on that give there, Scott, was looking back at his coach and saying, I should have pulled it back. You know, I had the read option there to pull it back. To your point, yeah, Quincy can make some plays here. And right now you don't need him to make plays. You need him to make the basic stuff to get this clock wound down and get this victory. But be careful. I mean, you've already got a QB who's going to be banged up here during the bye week. You need Quincy in one piece here because you don't know what's going to happen going forward.
106 yards for McKinney between rushing and receiving, and that time Quincy Reams is taken down. Try to make a couple of juke moves. He got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's looking around saying, somebody want the football? Because I don't want it. And then it was read 1, read 2, nobody home either way, and now read 3 is number 3. Just taking it. And that's good. Again, you know, don't go into their defense and take an extra lick that you don't need to take at this juncture.
28-0, Wisconsin Lutheran. Mears on to punt, averaging 43.5 yards per punt today.
That'll help your average. Get the roll, too.
It'll take a couple extra seconds off the clock. Drew Mears, one of the best, for a reason, and 5:22 remaining. The defense, Bob, is trying to do something they have not done since October 27th, 2012. That's complete a shutout. They beat Maranatha 48-0 13 years ago, looking for their first shutout since, and they're 5 minutes and change away from doing it.
Well, that unit has been the tone setter today, right? We talked about them giving the offense a reason to be comfortable in their execution. That was about the defense today in the first half, setting the tone and carrying over here into the second half, causing more turnovers. It has been huge for them to set that tone early.
Redmond to throw. Downfield, coming back and unable to make the catch is Jackson Martinez.
That's the sun again. He's looking right into the sun, that side of the football field, Scott.
Thrown behind him a little bit. Had to slow up his route.
Pretty good arm, though. I mean, he really unleashes it for a little dude.
Tried to make an acrobatic catch over the coverage of Sam Elke, the safety.
And these safeties are super stingy. They're not going to let these receivers get behind them. They'll give you even some pretty big chunk plays, but nothing that you can take to the end zone at this point.
Lawson in motion. Jacob Redmond to throw. And he hits his first team all-conference tight end, Wesley Jackson. Gain of 12, maybe 13. It's a first down. For the Warriors, Sam Schmidt gets his number called. It's a best electric service first down for the Cougars. Got to go here, under 5 to play.
Jackson's another guy, Scott, that the Cougars going to look back and say we maybe underutilized trying to get him the football more in this game. They tried to get Brown and that running game established early. It wasn't happening. Maybe that's when they should have shifted gears and found Jackson a little bit more.
Redmond hands it off. This is Blake Henson.
And I think Brown might be done for the day, too. He's been banged up. He's missed some plays, too. No sense taking your top rusher and getting him dinged up even more than he already is.
Yeah, we have not seen Jerron Brown in their last couple of possessions.
No.
It has been Henson in the backfield or Redmond on a keep, working Lawson in the run game as well on those sweeps. Another low snap. Boy, they've struggled with that. Pressure from behind. Redmond steps up. Now time expires. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage, though. Won't officially go as a sack.
It's what the color analysts would call a coverage sack, right? Because the secondary downfield was doing their job to just contain their guys, not give number one any clean looks, and so he had to run for his life.
Jaden Smith, the senior from Corona, California, on the hit. Third down and 10 yards for Concordia Chicago. Time running out on the Cougars here on this Saturday. Time running out on Redmond. Launches near side, overshot everybody. Demarius Lewis thinking if I could jump a little higher, I might have had my own interception today. 4th and 10 for Concordia Chicago at the CUC 28.
So neither starting quarterback, Scott, finishing this game because both those guys have been banged up. To what extent we will see it unfold during the week.
Defense now 3:25 away from a shutout for the first time in 13 years as Connor Martin, he looked returnish, but he knows I couldn't do much with that one.
You mentioned the Warriors getting the bye, and that's going to make this victory even sweeter, that you can savor it and also, fix the boo-boos, fix the owies, right? So you get to do both those things during the week off until your next football game. It'll be a big one against St. Norbert. Cougars got to get right back at it. They host Eureka next Saturday already.
Quincy Reams again at quarterback in relief of Nate Griffith, who was knocked out earlier in this fourth quarter. And Quincy Reams keeps it himself. He lost the football. He was stripped out across the 40. Warriors haven't turned it over today. Concordia Chicago saying we just have our first takeaway of the day, and the officials agree.
Quincy was on the turf, Scott, and he was saying I was down. I don't believe he was. So I think this turnover will stand. Cougars will get the football once again, but we said it before. Quincy, your job is to take care of the football here and finish this off, and that's a clean strip.
Strip coming from number 33, Dominic Espinoza got his right hand in there to rake it away. First turnover for Wisconsin Lutheran College. .3:11 left. Redmond to throw. Down the far sidelines, and he overshot his intended target, looking for Corey Randall.
Mr. Sun again. I'm telling you, Scott, you saw Randall. He's turned around, and you can see it off of his helmet. That sun is blazing right in the eyes of those receivers. So it's been an advantage if you're on defense. Anything looking back that way to the south, it has been difficult. But you took a shot if you're the Cougars. You tried to go from turnover to big play immediately.
Redmond going far side. I'll tell you what, Demarius Lewis is getting closer to an interception. He may have one here before we're done.
Yeah, ball hawking. And when you're up 28-0, you can ball hawk. Not going to let anything in that neighborhood come his way. He went up high, and he may have even got fingertips on it.
3rd down and 10. They've been bad on third downs today, just 4 out of 14. Warrior defense looking for another stop, trying to keep that goose egg up there. Under 3 to go. Redmond throws right side. He connects. He's got his man. That's the tight end Jackson. Breaking tackles. He stepped out of bounds inside the red zone. Noah Salas pushed him out. CUC in the red zone, sponsored by Legacy Insurance Group. Colin Amack, agent representing Auto Owners Insurance.
Missed tackle. If you make the tackle, they're short of the first down by about 3-4 yards. But Jackson, he's a strong dude. You know, all conference accolades for a reason. So he knew what he needed to do. Now you're in the red zone again.
2:35 and counting. Remember, you've got the 2-minute timeout as well. Empty backfield. Redmond in an obvious throwing situation. On the run. Pressured and throws it away onto the track.
And so you had 4 receivers at the bottom of your screen, and Redmond was rolling right where there was only 1 receiver. You're trying to fool the defense, but they were not fooled.
Again, this drive for Concordia Chicago set up by the Quincy Reams fumble. And the defense, which has allowed nothing so far, trying to get one more stop. Work to do, though, as CUC is in the red zone. And they empty the backfield. 5 targets here, including 4 to the near side. Redmond, again, takes the snap out of the turf, throws on a slant. Martinez the catch, and he gets to the 12.
Let me tell you something. Defenses, you're saying 28-0, what's a touchdown going to mean right here? Well, to a defense, they want the shutout. So they're going to do everything they possibly can to make this defensive effort pay off.
Warriors trying to get one more stop. The 2-minute timeout, sponsored by Today's Dentistry. Wisconsin Lutheran up 28-0. We're back with the finish on My 24.
But what if... Covered. Nice. But what if... All set. But what if... Tim, I customized your insurance so you wouldn't have to ask what if. It's simple human sense. Nice.
Ask Insurance Producers Network in southeastern Wisconsin if auto owners make sense for you.
The electrical system in your home may not be keeping up. If things aren't working like they're supposed to, don't wait until it's a catastrophe.
That's it.
We're calling Best Electric.
Best Electric can handle any residential job, big or small. All estimates are upfront and even include financing options. Mention this ad and receive a complimentary electrical safety inspection with any service call. So don't settle for fine. Connect with the best. Best Electric.
2 minutes left in this fourth quarter. 3rd down and 4. There you see the score. Defense trying to keep the 0 up on the board. Another low snap. Redmond throws left side into the end zone. A leaping grab is made for a Cougars touchdown. What a catch. What a catch by Jashawn Hall, the freshman out of Columbus, Georgia. Sit means sit brings us the touchdown.
Yeah, they flooded the top of the screen and catch toes down, both feet down, in fact. After the TD, you saw the flag come in. Hall did a little shimmy and a dance, and that's why you have this.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 14. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown.
I don't understand taunting when it was your first score of the game when it's 28-0, but nevertheless, he felt the need to celebrate.
So Concordia capitalizes on the first Warriors turnover of the game, the Reams fumble. Going the final 44 yards they needed after the takeaway, as this PAT is into the belly of the line.
That was ugly.
Was that Elke who got through? Yeah, Elke busted through and blew the whole thing up, as he tends to do, special teams or defense. Bob, you mentioned it, the Warriors on a bye next week. Our next broadcast will be 1 week from tonight. Wisconsin Lutheran, the rivalry, another one with St. Norbert College. A couple weeks from now, that would be the 11th of October, 6 p.m. kickoff. Only 2 home games left after today. It's been a very front-loaded home slate. Thank you, Knack. That's just the way the schedule makers of the league deemed it to be this year. CUC will be home to Eureka, and it would appear they'll be looking to go 1-2 against Eureka.
Well, to that, Scott, when you have this many games early on, take advantage. Try to take advantage, right? They came up short last week against Concordia, Wisconsin. Going to get the W here against Concordia, Chicago. But when you've got all this home cooking, don't look at it as, man, we're going to have to be on the road at the tail end of the season a lot. No, look at the other side of the coin here and say, let's take advantage of sleeping in our own beds, being able to be here at home. They did that this afternoon. Now you get to that bye week to rest, reset, get the guys healed that needs healing, and then another big one here in a couple weeks.
Bye week comes at a good time, I'd say.
You going to onside here from your own 20 after the penalty? That would be gutsy. A pooch kick instead.
Taken by the Warriors. The up man there. That's Jalen Pereira. I think that's number 42 on the return.
It
right?
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't know if he thought he'd have a return today, but he does. And with $1:48 to go, don't forget, we've got a little Warriors post-game show coming your way. Wayne Chevy will chat with head coach Eric Tresky as soon as the handshake line is complete. Bob and I will have your play of the game. We'll also have an interview with our Warrior of the game, all part of our post-game programming. So when the clock hits 0, don't go away just yet. Tywin McKinney, a candidate for Warrior of the game. He's in there at tailback, and he'll get the carry. Stood up at the line for no gain. McKinney, remember, as we'll have a timeout here, I believe, called by Concordia Chicago.
Can't take him with you.
Had that big 63-yard touchdown reception in the first half, his longest reception of his career. He's a junior. 101 receiving and rushing yards, all in the first half for McKinney. Now we're going to hear from Doden.
During the play, a helmet came off number 91 of the defense. Please subtract 10 seconds from the game clock.
I know, Bob, you're not with us regularly in these broadcasts, and I appreciate you doing this today, by the way, spending your Saturday with us. No, I really do. But we have had at least 2 helmets flying off, timeout come off. I don't know if they're just not fastening them as tightly as they once did or what, but we're averaging like 2 helmet timeouts or stoppages a week, it feels like.
New chin straps on line 1 for all the guys.
2nd down and 10. 10 seconds taken off the clock because that was a defensive player that lost his helmet. 1:20 to go and still 30 on the play clock here. I can't imagine they'll need to snap this thing until that game clock is under a minute.
No, Quincy.
1:10.
Quincy, he went with the hard count just to see if he could get him to jump, and then he looks back at Eric Tresky, and Eric says, just let it wind down. And this is a smart play with a minute to go.
28-6. Gordon in motion. Tywin McKinney with a nice run for 6, close to 7. Now some late pushing and shoving, and a penalty flag comes in, stopping the clock with 45 seconds to go.
Hot day and frustrating day for the Cougars. McKinney just kind of putting the cherry on the sundae here.
Play is over, well over. And then I think Tywin took exception to the fact that the Cougar on the bottom of the pile was kind of pulling him back down. He gave a shove, then he got a shove by another Cougar defender.
Yeah, but play's over, right? I mean, the last Cougar there that made the shove didn't catch his number, but he's the one that's going to get the penalty here.
Good one in Mequon. 13-13, Concordia and Benedictine with 3:48 to go in the fourth.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. Number 44, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense. Number 33, those penalties will offset. 3rd down.
28-7, Lakeland comfortably ahead of Rockford today. Later tonight, Aurora at Eureka. Should be the final snap here for Wisconsin Lutheran, and then they can enjoy their first victory of the 2025 season. Certainly concern will be for the quarterback, Nate Griffith. But as we've talked about, they'll have 2 weeks to get ready for St. Norbert. Another night game here at historic Robbie Stadium. And now Tresky will take the timeout.
Wisconsin Lutheran, their first team.
Burn as much clock as you can and then go, and perhaps it'll be the final snap. McKinney must have said something after unpiling there, because when they give it unsportsmanlike on both sides, McKinney didn't do anything except try to get off the pile, so officials must have heard something. But at least the scrum was brief and ended quickly.
Unofficially, I have Tywin McKinney for now 115 total yards. And again, if you join us late or you've been in and out, last year Tywin McKinney had a career-high 110 rushing yards at Concordia Chicago. We'll ask him in our postgame show. I think we'll chat with Tywin. We'll ask him about seeing those gold and maroon uniforms, and something just clicks for him so far, at least the last 2 years it has.
Love seeing the Cougars on the schedule. And I loved what he brought to the table here, so that it didn't have to be feeding Kohler all day long or feeding Hygis all day long and making them be the focal point of the running game. He became the third head, and again, with Griffith running from the quarterback spot when he was up and upright, it was a 4-man attack in that backfield. So McKinney was really key in being in the mix today to establish that running game.
Kind of apropos here that it's going to be McKinney who's going to be on the field for the final snap alongside Quincy Reams. Warriors didn't get the shutout they were looking for, but they'll take this. Reams keeps it himself. He's bull rushed, pushed back, and pops up. And that will be the final play of this Saturday. No penalty flags down there. Clock will strike 0, and for the first time this season, the Wisconsin Lutheran College Warriors find themselves in the victory column with a 28-6 victory over Concordia Chicago. As we wait for Wayne's postgame conversation with Eric Tresky. Bob, man, they did everything right. You'd love to have that goose egg up there on the scoreboard. Nevertheless, 28-6 isn't all that bad.
Yeah, they're going to take away, though, Scott, a lot of great things. Not just good things, a lot of great things that Eric Tresky wanted to see out of his guys in rebounding. Number one was the psyche after that depressing long night here at Robbie Stadium a week ago against Concordia, Wisconsin, and not getting the W. He said there were a lot of plays that we left on the table that we could have scored and could have won that football game. So when you have that kind of lingering, how do your guys respond? They responded by making the plays and, again, about setting the tone.
Okay, Wayne Chevy with a victorious Eric Tresky.
One of the things, Coach, you talked about the last 3 games is how hard your team played. What does it mean to have the payback today?
It just gives guys confidence, gives them encouragement, that the work that they're doing is bearing fruit. That's what life's all about, bearing fruit, right? Putting our actions to good use. So I'm proud of the guys. I love how our defense played. I'm really disappointed we couldn't finish it off for them offensively. But, yeah, great game.
Ty Wynn gives you multi-dimensionals, right? Multi-dimensional thing, 3-back attack, had the long touchdown run. Talk about his ability to change things for you.
We're so thankful. We got 3 really good running backs that are versatile. And honestly, we have a couple guys that aren't in that 3-man mix that can play too. So it's fun to see. He's been very patient, waiting for his opportunity. He made the most of it today, and proud of him for that.
You're a little mellow. It might have to do with injuries. We're going into a bye, which is a good thing. But, I know you hurt for your guys, right? You love your guys.
Yeah, no, I do, man. I'll say this, I don't chase wins. Real wins come with things that you can't see on a scoreboard, right? The way that you carry yourself, the way that you handle adversity. That's why, a week ago you were interviewing me and you're just like, Coach, you're smiling. You guys lost. I said, yeah, because I loved how hard we played for each other, right? I love the way that we battled against adversity. Those are things. These guys are going to be done playing someday. We all end up hanging our pads up. It's about learning things that are going to help them be good men, husbands, fathers, leaders in their community. I love to see the win. I want to see us learn some lessons and learn how to finish things off the way we started.
Enjoy the win. Enjoy the bye week. Get your guys healthy. We'll see you here in 2 weeks.
Thank you, guys. God bless you.
There it is. Thanks to Coach Tresky. I'm done for the day. Bob, thanks for being a part of the team. Hopefully I didn't let you down.
Black was a good choice for the polo shirts, Wayne.
Warriors win it 28-6, and a victorious post-game huddle upcoming. Stick with us. Got a few things to take care of. Our play of the game. We're going to talk with our Warrior of the game as well as our post-game show. In just a moment, People's State Bank coverage of Warriors football presented by Legacy Insurance Group continues.
Here's your food.
Thank you.
Hey, your food's right here. Have a nice day. Thanks, you too.
Food's here. Yeah.
Food's here.
Best pizza in town. Food's here. We're here. Quick Trip.
Hey, grab me one too.
This isn't just another college.
If you are looking for a university where the professors care about you, you can meet friends who have the same values as you, and you're going to be in a super fun area with a ton of student activities and fun stuff to do, then you want to go to WLC.
This is a place where you'll engage in Christ-centered academics and student life experiences that activate your potential.
Learning here at WLC is incredibly hands-on learning. You get a bunch of different experiences.
You can really balance academics with athletics or fine arts or any extracurriculars.
I don't think a single student here graduates without thinking that they are a Christian leader. You get everything when you come here. You get a wonderful community of people. You get endless opportunities.
WLC initially was just a college for me, but now it's a home.
Your greatest adventure starts here. Visit WLC.edu/purpose to learn more.
(28-6) is the final score. Warriors get the win over Concordia Chicago. We have a few choices to pick from, Bob, when it comes to our play of the game. I guess we're going to give a nod to the defense here because they were special.
I would agree. And not just one play, but this kind of epitomizes the day it's been for Concordia Chicago. Nevad jumping the route almost like he knew what was coming. Remember, Concordia Chicago called a timeout before running that play, and it's almost like number 10 was in the backfield or on the sidelines and knew what was coming because he jumped it perfectly, and that really drove the stake into the hearts of this Cougars team from that point.
People's State Bank sponsors our play of the game. It comes from Nevad. Warriors had 3 takeaways, 3 interceptions in this ball game here this afternoon, and Nevad on the return to the house, a special moment certainly for him, as it's 28-6. The Warriors get the win. If we give the play of the game, tip of the cap to the defense and Nathan Nevad, how about we bring in our Warrior of the game? The junior running back, Tywin McKinney, had over 100 yards of total offense in the first half, finishes with 113. He is our Warrior of the game. He joins us now down on the field. Tywin, congratulations. Boy, I said it late as we bring you the Legacy Insurance Player of the Game and Tywin McKinney. There's something about the Cougars, Tywin. I know what you did. We talked about what you did against them last year. What is it about these Cougars? You love them.
Yeah, I love them. It's an easy team to run on, and I got a good line to run behind, so it's easy. It's an easy game.
Tywin, that touchdown catch, when you come out of the backfield, could you believe how much green space was open when you got out there?
I couldn't believe it, but, running through it, I seen the linebacker blitzing, the one who had me, and I seen the safety in the other corner just follow the team, and I was like, I'm wide open. I wanted to scream, but I didn't want to get off too much attention.
Tywin, in a lot of ways, Carson Kohler and Liam Hygis get a lot of attention, and they've done some great things. What dimension do you bring to what is becoming a 3-headed monster in the backfield? What do you bring to the table that Warrior fans need to know?
I bring the power. I know, it's angry runs when I'm in, and I feel like Carson and Liam just breaks them down, and then I break them down even more. I don't let them lift their spirits about getting the running backs down.
Yeah, angry runs. You run with violence, Tywin. No doubt about it.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about what your defense did, because they were so special making these plays today. When they're doing what they're doing on that side of the football, how much more comfortable is it for you guys on offense?
It's very more comfortable. It gives us an extra drive because defense does their job every game, and we feel like offense, we should back them up, and that's what we do. That's our plan.
A season ago, Tywin McKinney, 110 rushing yards, a career high down in Chicago against the Cougars. He does a little better today, 113 total yards, including that career high 63-yard reception. Tywin McKinney is the Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack agent, Warrior of the Game. Last thing here, Ty.
Yes, sir.
You got a bye week coming up, St. Norbert after that. What does Tywin McKinney do on the bye week? What's the plan here before we're back together again in football?
The bye week is to eat up, to recover from this game, and rest so I can play Norberts with all my spirit and heart.
Eat up, huh? What are you eating tonight?
What I'm eating tonight, a lot of carbs and proteins.
That way.
Tywin, congratulations. Appreciate it. Way to go.
Thank you.
There he goes, Tywin McKinney. Special young man, a leader on and off the field, one of the great student athletes at WLC, without a doubt, and he is our Warrior of this game as the Warriors get a win, 28-6. Checked a lot of boxes. We'll wrap things up from historic Robbie Stadium after this.
The world is changing in powerful ways. You deserve an education that helps you meet the moment. Wisconsin Lutheran College. An academic and faith experience embedded in a close-knit community that activates your potential. Preparing you for life's critical moments so you can step into your unique purpose as a bold Christian leader. Take the first step at wlc.edu/purpose.
28-6, Warriors get the win, 1-1 in the NAC. Now 1-3 overall. Concordia Chicago 0-2 in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. Now 2-2 overall. Couple scores I want to pass your way. Lakeland knocks off Rockford today, 35-7. Lakeland 1-0 in the conference. Rockford falls to 0-2. They're headed to overtime in Mequon. Benedictine and Concordia, Wisconsin, tied at 13. So a good finish there. Up I-43. Bob, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it so much. You got the win for Dennis Miller. One Hall of Famer appreciates the other, I know.
A fun game to be a part of. Fun to be with you, Scott Warris, and this crew. I know a little something about the guys down there in the white patent van. They do an awesome job. Good to be part of their effort as well once again.
Thanks to all our sponsors for their continued support of Warriors football, including People's State Bank, Legacy Insurance Group, Colin Amack, agent. Hey, big catch in that fourth quarter for that agent, by the way. Auto Owners Insurance, Best Electric Service, Dunn Sporting Goods, Sit Means Sit Dog Training, Today's Dentistry, Clear Hits Radio, Enlighten Realty Group, the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, and by Sonesta Milwaukee West, Wauwatosa. Our next broadcast comes your way in 2 weeks. We'll be back under the lights when Wisconsin Lutheran College welcomes in another rival, the Green Knights of St. Norbert. 5:30 for the pregame show. October 11th, 6 o'clock will be kickoff under the lights of historic Robbie Stadium. So that'll do it for all of us here on this sunny, warm Saturday. Wisconsin Lutheran gets the win over Concordia Chicago.